for all I want is not for plenty of money. For my family, I'm not here for a pleasure trip. I'm only here for a business trip. Sing as a song, only song can do, my love. Please sing as a song, only song can do. I used to know it honest, and that's not what I'm looking for. I used to know it is, and that's not what I'm looking for. All I want is not for plenty of money. For my family, I'm not here for a pleasure trip. I'm only here for a business free. Espero, olaga, iglesia. Espero, olaga, iglesia. Espero, olaga, iglesia.
Joe, you're not here for a pleasure trip, that is true. You're only here for a business trip.
Please sing us a song, only song can do, my lord. Please sing us a song, only song can do. When I was a baby, I had a long lady. When I was a baby, want me to be her boyfriend, but I said, Mama, you're too fat for it to Jonas. If you happen to see my lady, she fat at my room. Fat as a cow, fat as a cow, baby. Fat as a cow. Fat as a cow, and her waist 44, chest 44, legs 44. She's 44 years old, she's something like a Humpty Dumpty. I don't beg you for mama. Fat as a cow, fat as a cow, fat as a cow, fat as a cow. Yeah. Honestly, Joe.
All hail Biafra. us, Biafra. We have emerged triumphant from all our foes. Through the crucible unscathed, we passed victorious. Our trumpets pealing the glorious song. Play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra. We shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for our freedom. All hail our heroes. Our prayer shall be known both day and night. Say them always. All hail Biafra. All hail Biafra. Now our star shines everywhere. We crave humility. God guide and protect us all. All hail your wisdom, shielding us from fury, unleashed by our anointed band. Biafra, shining
onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye duru ndị ya n'ụzọ ije si ebe niile dị iche iche ma ala Biafra. Anyị na-enye gị otuto, anyị na-enye gị nsọpụrụ, anyị na-enye gị eji ama n'ihi na ihe gbasara IPOB zuru ụwa niile oke. Onwe ebe ọbụla ị gara gị ahụ IPOB ụmụnne n'ime nzọpụta na nwere onwe Biafra. Anyị ji ofu obi were ịhụnanya were mmekọta nwanne na nwanne were na-aga ije. Anyị na-asị na ọbụghị mmadụ dị ndụ mana ọ bụ nsogbu ya bịa. Anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-agapụta nke anyị.
Ise
Ọrụ bụ ndụ nwere ndụ azụ. Nwa mmadụ nwekwara nwa mmadụ ha anyị na-ekwu. Ọ ga-adịrị Biafra na mkpa.
Ise
Ihe Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe onye obi ya nọ n'onwe ya kere anya mmụọ ka anyị na-edewa n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu si ozi nwere onwe Biafra. A sị na Biafra ga-abịara ya mma ọbụla na
Ise
Anybody I curse is cursed. Once I condemn you, you're finished. Ask the Sabo, those that tried to take over power when I was in prison, because I valued them, thought they were doing what we all swore to do. As soon as I went into prison, they started to connive to take over power. Where are they today? Because I cursed them.
What you like is a public. N'ụwa mgbede ka mma na a na-ebido naanị wee ribe n'ụwa mgbede ka mma. Ụwa mgbede ka mma. Ụwa mgbede ka mma. Ụwa mgbede ka mma.
Good evening, fellow comrades and lovers of freedom. My name is Amaz George Chukwume. I reside here in United Kingdom. One of the principal servants of indigenous people of Biafra here in UK. Tonight is the first day of our Lord, September 2023. And it's good evening, London on Biafra Radio. It's unfortunate this evening that I'm not streaming through our app for some obvious technical issues, but it was unforeseen circumstances that will be dealt with. So tonight we are streaming through our Biafra Radio Facebook page, Alpha Power Media, UK Media and Events, and our YouTube, Biafra Radio YouTube, Alpha Power Media YouTube, and our Twitter as well, Biafra Radio and Alpha Power Media Twitter handles. We are streaming live on this platform tonight. It's unfortunate that I'm not through. There's nothing wrong with our app. This is my issues on my side, and apologies to fellow comrades. Now, I just want to let all your sort know that tonight, once again, we are in this platform, the hallowed platform. Biafra Radio is the mouthpiece of IPOB worldwide, designated by only one leader, our indefatigable leader, Onyendu Mazim Nnamdi Kanu. This radio has come to stay, and what we preach here is true and nothing but the truth. And tonight is not going to be exceptional. I just want to take my time tonight. A lot has happened, and we are going to do some justice on issue bordering within IPOB. And as all you know, Africa on its verge of its revolution, which is ignited by the one indefatigable leader, Onyendu Mazim Nnamdi Kanu. His prophecies has come to pass in every ramification. If we go back from the day we started and what Onyendu have told us, there's nothing else that left for me is Biafra. It's going to be a miracle, as he told us, and everybody must be vigilant. The question you will ask yourself is, what are you doing to restore Biafra? Are you still in the same line as our leader and following that oath we have taken to restore Biafra in truth and honesty? And we shall be white and whiter than snow for us to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the earth. So this evening, this is called Good Evening London. Now, I like I always do, I always remind you your responsibility as an IPOB member, regardless how you might feel, regardless how weary you might pretend, it does not change anything of your oath taking. Your oath is an allegiance that you cannot run away from. It is detrimental to your entire generation unborn. You must retrace your steps and fall in line as guiding principle that guide IPOB, which is a code of conduct. All those that have presided over their oaths in recent times, every single one of you, as you finish your oath taking in IPOB, follow suit with email and guidelines on the norms of IPOB. We joined when there was no physical code of conduct, but we follow command and control without any questioning, because it was something that is natural. 90%, 100% of us, I'm not being honest, is Had Onyendu's voice and join. The spirit of Biafra will draw you closer. So my advice to you as an IPOB member, there is no amount of excuses we give at this point in time that you confuse. You choose to be ignorant, just like people that still give 10% to so-called pastors in the church. Say that what God told them. I don't care who you gave your money. It's entirely up to you, but your responsibility is something you cannot run away from. I will not advise you how and who you gave your money. But remember, in IPOB, we have a structure. That is why in our code of conduct, no one is allowed to touch our phone. Coordinators has got no business with IPOB fund. No principal servant, only those that are designated for this particular purpose. The head of finance of IPOB is not only but Mrs. Madam Nenianya, and that is the only person Onyendu designated as our head of finance worldwide. And over time, we had it 1,000 times that any account that Madamaya can now remotely see, that account must be shut down. That is an order from Onyendu. It does not matter. But when Chika Paul Dozem, the vegetable himself and his cronies, wanted to destroy IPOB within, the enemy at the gate, they bring all manner of flimsy excuses. But today is playing in. As we come to this platform, we will always remind them, because our argument from day one was that they disobeyed our leader, and they went on the radio Biafra that week where we worship to malign and desecrated that radio Biafra. In the name of that, they are fighting against Onyendu and his entire family. The radio Biafra that Mazen Nandekano slept on the street of London with his younger brother, Canon Takano. Some of you will not live to tell the story of what the evil that you guys have committed against our people, but our issues that we will guide you. The only favor we do to you guys is that we will guide you. So tonight will not be the same. And we are calling on every single IPOB members, those that have fallen on the website, those that are confused. The time is now for you to do the right thing. Some of you were not here 2015. We were here 2015. We knew what happened. The script was never changed. It's the same pattern they have been praying. The same thing they did 2015, they're doing now. That's not different. And some of you that are jumping from one group to another, that's exactly what our leader says in the past, that every single group that been formed by the Igbo, from Igbo Union to Ohaneze Ndi Igbo, every single one of them does not hold any ground, because the moment money shake hands, Ohaneze Ndi Igbo is like a political, jingolos out there. They are the one that put us in perpetual slavery, servitude. So what I'm saying to you is that if you jump in from Peter to Paul, you are not an IPOB member. That means you're questionable. That means you did not know the purpose of you joining IPOB in the first place. IPOB is not from where you cross carpet. It's not a political wings that you're looking for something to gain. I had one of their so-called dogs today talking about they join IPOB to restore. He's not talking about how to get Onyendu out. They will tell you they're working secretly. What are you doing? There is no secret anymore. Anybody anywhere telling you that is working secretly to get Onyendu out is bollocks. As a British man would say, they have nothing to offer. And you know one thing about our leader is spiritual inclined. It was sent by Okike. That's why they have said it. He's not begging for his release, for his freedom. He's not anxious about him being released, because he understands the purpose of him being where he is. That is one thing many of you must take into account. It is not a sorry for that. This is exactly why I wasn't going through our app this evening. There's some issues here, but this program has been scheduled. And the last thing I will do, we have alternatively that if we don't broadcast through our app, we can come through our Facebook, some YouTube and Twitter. So I just have an issue now. As you can see, intermediary, my voice just gone off. That's a technical issue, which I need to do some changes on the equipment we are using. So like I was saying, it is imperative that we all know why we are called the hardcore IPOB member. The time is now to all of us to fall in place and find, because everybody knows the real IPOBs. Forget about all these shenanigans going around. People has cashing in and cashing out. That's not what we're here for. And people have now becoming, they're turning themselves, not IPOB, into mediocrity. There's so many mediocres out there, and that is not why we're here. So many have given away, people have died. Only the two parents have paid the ultimate price. And so many comrades have died. So I cannot say much than what I have said now. So tonight I will definitely remind you about a couple of things. Tonight is definitely, I'm going to do some reminders based on things that has been trending. You know, those that disobeyed our leader, and don't forget, Onyendu's going to court. Is still a court. The fact is that our leader have no case in the zoo, and every Sunday understand this fact. Mazen Nandekani was not meant to try in any court of law in that damnable zoological republic. At the end of the day, the wave that is sweeping across the border of Sub-Saharan Africa, that breeze is going to touch every single one of them, but it will come in a different shape and form. Let me say this, let it be clear that, you know, I'm going to talk about this a little bit, but before I go forward, I want to let you understand that, you know, the mechanism of our oppressors is something that they plan ahead of you. Excuse me. They plan 20 head ahead of you. I've talked about Samuel Doe a couple of times, but today I dabbled into his, you know, when he was indicted in Sierra Leone, the court was sitting. That was a international criminal court that was set up in Sierra Leone. And some of those videos, how his journey from when he left Morovia to when he went to America, because he was working as one of the he was serving, I think, the financial accountant or whatever he was. But I listened to his testimony. He's in prison in this country. Why I'm making this assertion is that there's a lot of things we must understand what is going around Africa right now. And the Francophone countries has been like they've been stooged. But it is not, because British will always be smart. They knew that a day like this will occur. That is why you see France right now, they don't want to leave. People told you to exit from the country, just like we have to be forced to come here with visas. And now you are now opposing yourself to the people. This is impunity. And it's very good that now they are now the ones forcing themselves. That these are scavengers. They told you that the colonial masters, and they asked them, before you came to our offshores, why we're not living there happily before you found yourself hungry? You know, because hungry drove you away. There was no food. Your country was so cold. You can't accept it. But mosquito killed millions of them as well. Now, I just want to be clear. So I just want to do a couple things within IPOB. Then I'm going to move ahead to talk about what is going on in Africa today and the prophecy of our leader. And to be clear, everything you see that is happening today is the effort that we put in place. Regardless, a lot of people kept quiet. You see the zoo, they are buying time. They're sitting in a keg of gunpowder. They don't know. Their own is going to be worse because they are cowardice. These are, you know, everybody have gone into stupor, but there's a time, like I said, it is only in the zoo. Things that happen there will happen in sub-Saharan Africa. Even the smallest country in Africa will not absorb it. But detrimental to who? Because they know what they're doing. I mean, everybody so much focused on their own selves. They care about themselves. Nobody wants to sacrifice anything. Like what we are doing. That's why some of them come into IPOB thinking that it's about themselves. No. It's a volunteer work. They don't ask anything in return. We forgot everything we are doing. We put our heads and lives online and made a promise that will not fail. And that's why we're here. Tonight, for what we are going through in IPOB today was something that was orchestrated. Just like now, when Ebubago was fall, Onyendu, I will talk about it a little bit, but let me say something to you. Majority of you do not know what is going on in IPOB. Some of you just joined. Some of you are clapping hands. Some of you are from over the fence thinking that Onyendu, I love Mazim now, kind of from a distance. Question is, what have you contributed toward? It's not about a couple of you that are donating a couple of dollars or pounds. It's not a problem. It is something that people will pay one way or the other. Because when Biafra is restored, we have records. Forget about all these people that are running around, because at the end of the day, if it was happening in America, because after America was, after they're independent, and now they went into civil war within America themselves about slave masters. So if it requires us that we have to fight within ourselves, that's what Onyeni say we want referendum. Those that agree that they want to belong to Biafra, we don't want arms anymore. That's why we don't want no small arms. We know the damage they have brought into our life. All these things was pre-planned. Now, for those people that are still arguing and how we get to where we are, those that disobeyed Mazim Nnamdi Kanu, this is our argument. From the onset, someone like me, Maz George, you may go and check my records. I don't come out and speak anyhow. Everything I say is fact-checked. And when we told them, because we were sure, like I said, 2015, I was here. I traveled back home, the first court Onyendu went. I went from the Lagos to Zoo capital and came back in UK, and we soldier on. And we fought it and knew till Onyendu was released stingently, and at the end of the day, they invaded Onyendu house on 14th of September, and Onyendu escaped that onslaught, and after 13 months later, he appeared in Israel, and will still continue till today. And now he's been kidnapped. On 2022, which is on, I think that was on June 19, 2021, Onyendu was kidnapped in Kenya and tortured 8 days. And at the end of it, he was actually renditioned. Crime against humanity. That is why the court is something that has got no foundation. That is corruption in the highest. That says it's just like America today. You see, regardless of everything we are fighting, you see what is happening to Donald J. Trump, because the truth must be suppressed. Just like when the COVID came, people like us told them, even if you want to pay me £1 million, I'm not taking vaccine. I never take it, and I will never take it. I was walking throughout the COVID. Not remotely, on site job. I never get sick for 1 day. And I refuse. If any job you want to give me has to have a condition, precondition, even traveling to take vaccine. I see Ice Cube. Ice Cube was given a project of about $8 million. He refused. He rejected it. People have died because COVID was systematic to remove Donald J. Trump, which they did. But today is haunting all of them because the truth must be told. And when it just cause, when people, the world, the power is shifting. As you can see, there is that, one man is changing all these things. And who is that man? Some of you don't know the wave that is going on around the whole world. His words must come to pass. Is anything that is sat down on Radio Biafra? That is why when you see shenanigans, people that come and desecrate that holy platform that give birth to this Biafra Radio, that ever again in their lifetime, the same way Biafra Radio International have gone in oblivion, that is the same way Radio Biafra has gone into our archive. Just like when they hijacked the app, at the end of the day, what happened today? Everything they have done, Biafra Radio have come again to rescue our people. So I want to play a particular voice because Benjamin Imadibugu testimony can attest to every argument. He don't need to argue with anybody again. On issue about those that disobeyed Onyendu, and I have gone into to destroy IPOB within, lies on regardless every other information we have had. Though he has got no legal right to deliver message, but they thought that message was going to be on their own favor. But as you can see today, every single one of them, the both sides of I today, all of them are running helter-skelter because none of these individuals can survive without IPOB and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't have any agenda. Like I said, those that was with us 2015, 16, 17. Remember when the former gang, the DOS of what does he call his name? Umiumiu and Clifford, you know them coordinator of all coordinators. On their own days, they were claiming after they went through the back and emerged with Tony Nadi, they say they have the so-called roadmap. We were laughing. The same way we are doing now, we came out, we fought against them, including Imam Mezu. Let Imam Mezu let himself to be used. Over time, every ill practices against our leader, Imam Mezu has been an instrument to it, and is a man that Onyendu love dearly. Respect him highly. That's what life is all about. So tonight, everybody today that is said they're fighting for Biafra, they want Biafra to be restored, they cannot get their mouth and their eyes off Onyendu. That's something Onyendu said the other day, was on Twitter, and he made it abundantly clear because our leader will always say things the way. Where did I bring that Twitter or not? I don't think okay, yes. I think I brought it. Yes, I brought it. So this is one of the things our leader said. This is Sahara reporter. He said pleading with Nigerian government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is an insult. Determined IPOB leader Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Our leader is not seeking for his release. You know the reason why he's where he is. I've said it over time. If Onyendu is impressive to come out from DSS dungeon, you know exactly what to do. It is not down between me and you. We have to do what we have to do as one of his disciples, as those that have sworn an oath to follow him, because Onyendu say, I won't disappoint you, but the majority of you have disappointed our leader. But he doesn't move him. Because what some of you want to hear from him is to say he's tired. So now he will have something to say. And as you can see, second US, I have the old, I'm going to play the audio. Say US and UK organization released report on how ex-president Buhari, the dead pedophile allegedly founded Ebubanketa in Southeast to kill residents using Imo States and Ebonyi State government as executors. So we know this already. It's not a news, but it's good that some of them are now waking up from their slumber. But all these things our leader won over all these men and their conspiracy theory they have lived upon. These are wimps that have to lick the bombs of the Aramageries before they have to put their pants down before they actually can sit down and reason. Some of them, where is about Saturday? Where is all Jews or Kano? So everything Onyendu have said have come. You know, if you normal, go into reflection and understand that our leader is not an ordinary human being. I keep on telling people this all the time. It is not something you argue. You can pretend all your life. I don't care. I didn't hear your voice. I joined this struggle because of one man, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't need anybody to preach anything to me. I don't need your second opinion. I don't need anybody to tell me anything. Some people say, oh, go and follow Simon. Who is Simon Ekpa? Simon Ekpa is just ordinary individual. If you have any agenda to preach on Biafra or to fight for IPOB, it's entirely up to him. Let him carry on. And Onyendu is being incarcerated. He's not the one to get Onyendu out. For whatever he does is not for the release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It's entirely detrimental to whatever criminality he has indulged himself on, which I'm going to talk about it in a bit. So now, what I want to say here is that I want to, from the genesis and how things started, we go back from Onyendu was rendition. People was accused. People was blackmailed. The people that rendition our leader, I tell you this, I was not one of those people. I never talked about how Onyendu was kidnapped, who sold Onyendu. It is not my interest. You know why? Because I knew that our leader knew exactly what happened. Onyendu knew what was going to happen to him. He allowed it to happen. I didn't have this conversation. I will tell you, Fondra, George, I'm 110% sure that before Onyendu leave Israel, what you must ask yourself is that Onyendu was in Israel immune. So why would he want to go to African countries? That's the reason for it. He knew all this. And he knew Kenyan history. Other countries, there's so many countries, Kenya, about 2 countries, I can't remember them, some of their representative was actually extraordinary rendition in Kenya. Kenyan government is known about this, being sabotaged to other people, countries, those that are fighting for their right. But I don't want to get into that now. What I'm saying in essence is that our leader primarily is, the problem is not about him coming out from DSS dungeon. That is not what is going to give us Biafra. No. There's a route and there's a price that must be paid. It does not matter how you want to round around it. It doesn't matter. He understood that. And that is my job. Now, so the reason why I'm repeating this particular audio is for a reason. Because our people things does not resonate into our people. So I will replay this audio again for you to understand. The argument was, some people say, oh, give us evidence that the dogs, I'm not calling DOS, those Chike Doziem and his cronies disobeyed Onyendu. Who told you? Oh, Canon Takano said that Onyendu was praying in the mountain for 8 days. None of them knew that Onyendu was in Kenya. This was the argument. That's nothing else. I remember so many women in my zone come to me and say, George, but who sold Onyendu? I always told them, I don't know. Some of these women, they get weary. Or some of them, I keep on telling them, your feelings is not it doesn't concern me. That is why before you take oath, you should have put all these things in perspective. Just like when you go take a loan from bank. If you don't pay that loan, in this system we live, bank will come after you. If they don't get that money, your credit is dead. You can't get anything. It will affect you in every flank in your life. Your life will become misery. Now, this is exactly what's happening to some of you people. I understand the emotion and sentiment that is, and some of you will be contributing money to people thinking they're fighting for Biafra. They're not fighting for Biafra. That's not what you sign up for. You are under IPOB, under Mazen Nandekan. You took oath under Mazen Nandekan. If you jump in both, that means now you have contradicted yourself. There's no if but about. It's a fact of life. And you have to hold yourself accountable on the road you're now invoking on your generation unborn and those that are still here. I have to be fair to everybody. Very, very important. Now, let me play this particular video again. And Onyendu, they playing ping pong with our leader going to court with the courtesy of Ifeanyi Jofo and the so-called Sam that went to take what is it called? They give him an award through the dead Buhari. These are people that were sold out. And that is why they are sacked. Or they're going around themselves, massaging themselves, exposing themselves the more. The same man that opened his mouth and said that Onyendu was given 14th of September was because of their recession. Their recess now came out that they're talking something differently. Tells you all you need to know. But before then, I want you to listen to this. And I'll comment on it and I'll move forward.
Because of Lias stop posting at home. Have I stop on immediately? No, you know where he went. Then when I continue on message at home. Open the announcement from me. Ozili no lazy Ifeanyi Jofo single Ozi Ifeanyi Jofo lazy bosi yazri. Ozi aloye ejumako lazy bosi yawazri. Ozi Maswell, Barisa Maswell. Obara lazy, bozi yawazri. Ozi Barisa Chukwemeka Jofo lazy, bozi yawabo Onyendu. I want to give a forgery.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Yeah.
Now, it's very important. This is the only part I wanted from this guy. to kill the argument. Whatever argument we had, this is the only thing I want to kill the argument, regardless how anybody might feel. But thank God that he actually opened his mouth and said that Onyendu said that no one awarded DOS. He was angry with DOS. But what he forgot to say, because he was being economical, that is why he shouldn't say anything if you want to be, economical with the information Onyendu gave him. Because the point is this, that David Benjamin Madubugu is part of the problem. He is Mad. His name was mentioned in Emeka Ejiofor's memo. And there's something he was doing before as an emissary. That's why he doesn't live in his village anymore. He used to live in here, and now he lives in Abuja for a reason. That's why I told him, if he cough again, thunder will fire his generation. Excuse my language, but I want to say it tonight. He was saying that DOS, he didn't say he was part of it. Benjamin Madubugu was the person that projected Chikedozium as the leader. There's a meeting that held, is in part of that meeting. This is how double standard these men are. Now, I want everybody to remember that the argument was, Onyendu saw that nobody in IPOB can question Mazem Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody. It's written in our code of conduct. And who is breaking that code of conduct is actually the person that signed it. Chikedozium is liable to go to prison in any country. If I'm telling you the truth, if any Chikedozium step on anybody's toes and he appears in court, every judge will hold him instantly because he signed that code of conduct. He signed that code of conduct. If Chikedozium today can open his guts, that's why common South Africa, they ran away in South Africa. Imagine what will happen to him in any place in Europe. They uselessly gather some riffraffs. They went to Finland to go and make mockery of themselves. They're looking for Simon Ekpa. For what? Who is Simon Ekpa? Who allows Simon Ekpa into what he's doing? Who gave him the green light on what he's doing? Is you? Is it me? Who invited him in the meeting that he wasn't a member of IPOB, he wasn't on the oath? Is it me? It's you. So every betrayal, the open rumor account, Chikedozium dabbled into our finance, is against our code of conduct. That is what guides IPOB. So if you want to deal with this individual, you don't need to. I told them before, I said, some of the, ignorance is not excuse in court of law. I didn't join IPOB off heart. I know exactly. When the code of conduct came out, I picked it up, I kept it. Every single member that I have presided over in my zone, at the end of, is a mandatory. After your oath taking, that email will reach you. After you fill your forms and everything, you must have that code of conduct. So you wouldn't say, as you're signing your form, is accompanied with code of conduct. That's why some of all these people that are misbehaving, I tell them, you don't need to, I'm not asking you to come to IPOB to pay. No. Those that are on the oath, I'm not begging you. I'm not going to call you on, nobody's calling me on phone. It is your duty. And when you fail to do it, there's a destruction waiting for you in your generation. Some of you think it's a joke. There's one incident that happened in my zone. There's one lady. And I let her, I don't take sizes. I was on middle of oath, she was mimicking about the words. Then I had to kick her out of the online and take it personal at the end of the day. But she later confessed to me, apologized that one of the women there was working with Simon Ekpa. They were trying to cause problem. There's so many of them, even in my zone. I know so many of them. I don't have issues with you. Once I preside over your oath, regardless whatever you do, I won't utter a word. Because you're playing with something you will never in your lifetime. You think I'm stupid or maybe I don't know what I'm doing? That is why I don't joke with it. Even if my mother cannot be in the meeting that I'm in as an IPOB member, but Chikedozium allowed it. That's where all the problems started. Now, Benjamin Madubugu is part of the issue and the problem. But he never said, and he never said we. He said DOS, Onyendu is angry with DOS, but he never put himself there because he's part of DOS. and is a part of people that projected Chikerism as his leader. Why our leaders in language in the SS dungeon. Tells you all you need to know. This is where our problem started. And about Onyendu being kidnapped, they lied. And pointing finger on Nenyanya, pointing finger on Caroline, pointing finger in Canon, without knowing that the person that brought this particular matter. That is why. There was something that happened to me one time in one country. When something happened. My things were stolen. And when this thing was stolen, I came and asked them, who was the person who said that thing was stolen? Who actually break this news? When they told me, I said that the man is the person that stole my stuff. I said, this man stole my stuff. I think I was joking. At the end of the investigation, that man was the person that stole my stuff. The man have to give me land and all that. I told him I'm not interested. The person that break this news in Radio Biafra was Chikikina Samoru. That Canon Takano was called upon. Canon Takano was spending 8 days in the mountain. The Caroline lied. None of them knew where Onyendu was. They hide it from them. That DOS didn't know that Onyendu traveled to Kenya. You know, life, God, you see you to cook as long as you drink water and speak ill is in our oath that you shall not go against any principle officer working assiduously to restore Biafra. Any day you do that, it will haunt you to the day you die, and beyond on the kids you were, even your lineage will never, ever get away with it. They lied up against everybody. Because what they do is they blackmailing. They blackmail everybody. This is why they want to brought into us. We are there today. We are there. When we came out, we tell them, you know, if you know who George Ume was, you know that the people, you see, I'm not bragging. If you go ask Omiomio today, I was the first person that called Omiomio out on Facebook. Omiomio blocked me in my Facebook that Facebook disabled in 2016. When they disabled Radio Biafra main page, that's about 1.8 million followers. Some of you do not know what I'm talking about. I was in the forum, all of them was in the whole entire DOS, the former DOS are talking about men. Maramu Gochuku Chik, I'm a Omiomio, Maramu Gochuku, I'm a Clifford Iruanya, Manoneni, and all of them was in that, even after Yagozie, there's one guy they call Yagozie in UK here, came into that forum. Some of you don't know who Yagozie is. Yagozie was the person that challenged Onyendu in Manchester, which our people wanted to kill him there. Where is he today? Where is Yagozie today? There's nowhere to be found. He must be pure in this struggle. Yagozie has a radio. He opened his own radio. Biafra 24. Some of you go and check Biafra 24 in app. Who owns Yagozie? He used to live here. I don't know where. You haven't seen him for ages. This is why I'm saying to some of you, we didn't join this struggle because we kept quiet, we came because Okeke called us. We are the gatekeepers. You might be jumping like an antelope, I won't talk to you. But the day I will react, where are they today? You are blackmailers. Who are they blackmailing? All the riffraffs they've gathered, buying 5,000 naira to charge card to come out and be ranting on something you don't know. Your generation, the one they call Straman, he died miserably. And the same way, you see all these people, they will die after one another. Their death will be miserable. Single one of these individuals that have come out and black. I said, every single one of you, I'm on Biafra Radio saying it. Every single one of you that have blackmailed any pure IPOB member that did nothing, he will die miserably. That's no two ways about it. Because you know, even like Madam Maya said, if you're sympathizer to IPOB, automatically you have been initiated. So you must be guarded. They accused Canon Takano. Canon Takano was the person that told Onyendu was playing in the mountain. Nobody knows. Madam Nenyanya and Caroline, they are the people that say Onyendu. But all of them from A to Z, including Madam Oyibo, including even Obo, if you confirm that they're supposed to have meeting that day, they all knew where Onyendu was. The one they called Chidan Saworu confessed with his mouth that he was talking to Onyendu on phone the same day. Then he will kneel for 8 days, your boss. I remember us now, and he said that Onyen gave him some message to do that. He was looking for Onyen in one of our meeting. But they split it as if they didn't know. The day they came on the Biafra, it was the same Snaban because they, shenanigans. They're propagandists. To submission, they will blackmail you to submission. But I promised them one thing in their next life. When they hear George Ume, they will run. Like I told them in UK here, the day I joined, I told them in that room, I said, if it wasn't because of why the word that brought me here, I won't spend 1 minute inside this room with all of you. I'm not bragging. It's on record that I've told you, idiot that recorded it, bring it out. Is that what I said? That's my word to them. After taking oath, I told them, I said, if it was not because of that, okay, they brought me here, I won't spend 1 minute in this room with you guys. It doesn't worth it. But I know we are going somewhere. I want you to listen.
On many occasions and failed. But, Chukwu Kabiyama is great. Last month, when we asked him to come also, he went there. He could not see him. But so God, with infinite mercy, last Thursday, he went there and he was able to meet Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And we realized also for the fact that there is nobody from the leadership who goes directly or who can be able to communicate to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That people took that opportunity to blackmail IPOB leadership. They took that opportunity to blackmail.
You see, the word blackmail, he used it over time. This guy, I don't know who this guy is, but that is what this guy lives upon, blackmailing people. He has blackmailed so many people and murdered so many people as well from a distance. But you see, to blackmail, they ask him, who is this leadership you're talking about? When do we have two leadership in IPOB? When did you initiate leadership in IPOB? Leadership without our leader? This has been our argument from day one. Listen carefully. We will repeat this anytime I come on air. This is a promise I made. Every time I come on air, I have to remind you about this individual. Because this is what they did. When they were ranting before, they didn't know that people like us were taking, the gatekeeper was taking account until when we emerge. Just like now, they have accepted because our argument is superior. It is obvious. It is Obama as Nnamdi Kanu. What else do you want to talk about? Omiomio. Omiomio. Do you know the crime of Omiomio? You want me to tell you? Only in the court meeting, the whole DOS then, board of DOS then boycotted the meeting. But Omiomio showed up, which is head of the Directorate of State. Madam Nene, head of finance, showed up. Chike Doziem was European rep then and secretary to DOS. Showed up. And Chukwudo former showed up on that meeting. And only ordered Omiomio to suspend the whole DOS indefinitely. Omiomio came to his Facebook wall and said that he will not suspend them, that they're his comrades. And I asked Omiomio, have you done what your boss asked you to do, Omiomio, before you say, oh, hail Biafra? Because people like us, we were there, we think we were not there. We always ask you a fundamental question. He blocked me. That was Omiomio's crime. When the Adita and work, they want to remove Omiomio because say Omiomio, they don't like Omiomio. Omiomio was a 419. Onyeni said now, there is no single Igbo man that have left for greener pasture that would swear that they have never soiled their hand one way or the other. Unknowingly or knowingly. It's not your choice. Some of us made some decisions, not because we want to do what we want to do, but we have no option. That does not make you a bad person. That doesn't mean you live this as a life. Onyendu give us a benefit it gives everybody a benefit of doubt. Second chance in life must be accorded to every single one because we know systematically all of us went on to exile. It wasn't my decision to leave home. I have no option. And in 90s, I made money in 90. I couldn't go back home because of Bami. Some of you don't know who Bami was. Do you know what they have done to us? You know how many people of us that died? I couldn't go back home because once you drop in Murtala Mohammed Airport, they will pick you up. Even though you're doing wrong, or they don't care. These things we went through, Mazin Nankan came to replace some of us. We have went through hell and come back. And you think this is about who you like. You think this is a Pentecostal talk. You think we're talking garbage here? These are clapping hand behind people. Are we looking for someone to? Am I looking for someone to show me direction on where to go? Am I listening to orator? Am I looking for somebody to inspire me or what? I don't need none of that. I've already been inspired. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly why I joined IPOB. That's why you can't tell me to listen to anybody. I don't need anybody to listen to. If I want to know something, I can do my research, permanently without no question. That's nothing I want to know today I won't know. I don't need any help from anybody. I don't need help from no man. To be fair, blackmail was what they have initiated from onset. But we don't blackmail. We'll come with evidence before you, anytime we speak, to make sure at the end. Because a day of reckoning is very fast approaching. Mark my words somewhere.
Well, everybody they think that will be a hindrance for them to be able to hijack the struggle. That was what has been happening for 2 years. Because I could remember the day Mazin Nandekan was kidnapped.
Now, like I said, everything China Sanwuru, that slave child, has ever said in his mouth is something that is something they have done or anticipating doing. Hijacking the struggle is what they have done. They hijacked IPOB, and even one of their Iba said that those that pushed people to Simon Epa. It's not like they don't know what they were doing. They knew exactly what their action in action was all about. Because once you did something, they will label you one name, and then some of these people today are ranting. They don't even know their left from their right. Some of them are asking me, George, join who? What the heck are you to join you? For what? About what? Am I looking for social club or age grade or village meeting? Are you insane? They confirm with their own mouth. They push people because what they did was when they started onslaught, removing coordinators and all that. So most of all those coordinators they remove, some of them are looking for paper. Some of them just keep quiet. Some of them want to still remain. We are into struggle just to be, numbers to count head. But when you always say the hard cause, we don't move from our very position we have taken. The only thing that can change me is death. Nothing else. The only day I die, anybody that know me, anybody that have known me, one thing won't take away from me. Even my siblings, if you lie to me, you won't speak to me. You won't talk to me for another 10 years. I've done it to all my siblings. That's me for you. I won't argue with you, but something will never speak to me. That distance must be between me and you. That gap will be there until the day I decide. It's not you. It's my turn. So, like I said, hijacking the struggle is what they've done. Hijack Radio Biafra, Madam Anya, they cannot say, oh, Madam Anya been suspended or raise any memo. What they did systematically, how dangerous these men are. They disable all our accounts worldwide. They ban Madam Anya systematically not to come to Radio Biafra. What else do you want to know? So who hijacked this struggle? Based on his words? Because they speak, they forget about it. But we analyze it to a layman perspective. Just like what he's saying. He confirmed that struggle they hijacked. They hijacked it. Everything He's confirming with his mouth. Now, listen to about what happened to Onyendu. They told us that Onyendu, Canon Takan said that Onyendu was playing in the mountain for 8 days. Listen to him.
Everything was in order. We were communicating. Like I said, I continue to say it. I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, we were communicating. Like I said, I continue to say it. I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, when we were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it. I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, we were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it. I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, when Madam American was renditioned to Nigeria, a lot of things start happening.
I hope you heard him. The same person that broke the news, that Canon Takano. We need to remember all these things. So some of you that say you're confused, some of you that were asking who sold Onyendu. Remember when this thing broke, they accused a lot of people, so many politicians, even they put Ifan Yoruba's name there. Later they said he wasn't involved. They're the one that were mentioning people's name. They're the one that mentioned Canon Takano, Caroline, Madam Nenyanya, mentioned so many politicians. Tells you all you need to know. I saw something one of our writers wrote today about China Sanwo yapping why did Onyen didn't tell a joke to exonerate them are not among those that sold him. Onyen never said a thing like that. Tells you all you need to know. You know, like I said, I'm not accusing anybody. All I know is that as long as you are an oath member in IPOB, and I know that our leader is not hasty to know who sold him, there's much time for that, because that will be a distraction. But as they're now, they are confessing with their own mouth, we might as well talk about it. So it's entirely up to you to make your judgment. Those that sold Onyendu is before you. And that is why today they don't speak anymore. You see a couple of them come out and be talking. This useless one that lives in Ireland, that one, I don't think he works anymore, because you see him in the afternoon talking. What he's talking, he don't even know what he's talking about. It was called. And he's talking about you were called to restore Biafra. How do you want to restore Biafra? What is your agenda to restore Biafra? By you sitting in your living room and turn your Facebook on and talking rubbish. You sold Onyendu. Because when we have issue in UK here about company's house, I remember after you guys called Maz's age, and I had a one-on-one chat with you, and I asked you a question. You can't answer the question, and the deputy European rep. What is happening today in Europe is you people. You people are in charge of Europe, and Simon Ekpa invaded IPOB. None of you did anything. And he's still talking about you are restored, you are called to do what? You guys are a bunch of losers. Anyway, now I want to play Ezekome's voice again. I want to remind you, these are sacked attorneys, but they are the people that have collected money to be mimicking and to be seen. They want to make sure that Onyendu remain perpetual in DSS dungeon, because as long as Onyendu is being locked down, all of them will be cashing out. He is the same man that told us with his own mouth the reason why they gave us the date they gave us. And he went back again and brought a written note, which I'm going to put up here. This is a reminder, like I said, this is a reminder, because our people easily to forget. Reminder again.
We should have hierarchy of costs within states, so that each state of the federation should have its own hierarchy of costs, from magistrate to customer Court to High Court to Court of Appeal to Supreme Court. This is how it happens in the United States of America, from where we borrow our presidentialism. But here, the smallest case will go from the smallest village and end up at the Supreme Court. And all the politicians will fight dirty, will quarrel, will not put their hands together. All of them will come here. So when the Supreme Court is beginning to have like 19 cases in one day, like a magistrate court, then you know there's problem. So they looked at their dockets and discovered that the next available date is after the vacation, which will be 14th of September.
I hope you listen to the reason why I'm putting this up here is very important. This same man said this, and this was memo he brought out on the 2nd of August. And the same memo is saying on the 11th of May, 2023, the above appeal came up before the Supreme Court, and they were adjourned on 14th of September, 2023, for definite hearing. Perhaps it was not known to the Honorable Court at this time that the Supreme Court will be still in its annual recess. Now, you ask yourself a question. Double standard. Very important. Very, very important. I want you to highlight the evil, because they think they will speak. We don't keep account to follow them. Like they speak anyhow, we don't speak anyhow. We speak with evidence. With his own mouth. Even though I have no case to answer to. But this is the people that are working against our leader, and IPOB at large. I will always remind you, because when I say something, I always bring evidence with me. The same man was the same person that collected this award from dead Buhari. The same executive collected this. I want to remind you the reason why he's playing double standard. He cannot serve two masters at the same time. He collected this on 16th September 2022. This was affirmed to him by dead Buhari on 11 October 2022. You know, so from 11, it was affirmed on 11 October 2022, and 2022 National Honor Award letter. Mike Ezekome, numbers was written there. I'm not going to leave the garbage, but this is a ceremonial. This is the office of the Honorable Minister, Federal Minister of Special Duty and Intergovernmental Affairs. Special duty, quote, special duty. You ask yourself, what is that special duty that is doing to them? Special duty, they gave him special duty award, and you can hear him now, how he's dabbling into issue that concerns our leader. I will leave it there. I want all of you to see and make the judgment yourself. Now, there's something that I want to play, because I have that. I've showed it on Sahara Reporter, and there's a write-up. So I found
a special investigative.
I found this audio. This is an audio. Someone put it in audio. What exactly that happened? So this is you know, when a Bubago was formed, a Bubago was to encounter ESN, because the dead Buhari and his hegemony, his cronies, which is the Fulani hegemony, their agenda to Islamization of the whole sub-Saharan Africa, and we push back because they want to dip the Quran in the East, right, Atlantic Ocean, as Usman Danfode promised them. And that's what they're trying to accomplish. But they all, like Cesar Fries, you know, caught them in Ebola for whatever. They could not make it in those days again, and ESN have stopped them once again. So now they went now and connive with the traitors in Biafra land. That is why you see what is happening in Biafra land today. And that's why I've warned. A lot of people don't know what small arms would do. If you don't have experience of small arm, I indulge you guys to go and study. See, some of you that are shouting, what. You don't know what small arm is all about. I'm going to place Charles Taylor's testimony one day. I'm going to have time. I will dedicate that program to educate you guys when it comes to small arms. I've got the video. because I was around in Sierra Leone, even when I was back and forth in Sierra Leone, when that court hearing was going on, they stationed it after the end of the last civil senseless war between Sierra Leone, within Sierra Leone and Liberia's one. International Criminal Court was set up in Sierra Leone, not in Hague. It was set up in Sierra Leone, and they conducted the hearing there and sentenced them there. Now, I'm gonna play it one day to show you. So some of you playing, oh, woto, this, that. It's a child's play. So they brought a bag. We knew, we didn't wonder about this, what they were trying to do. So now, instead of, because they know they won't use their foot soldiers to do it anymore, they give them uniform. These people, the same Fulani herdsmen they've got, they turn them into a bubago. Because when this thing started from Ebonyi State, the so-called administrative governor emerged, Selekin Fulani, then Imo State become a war zone. So now it's obvious. I'm not gonna be playing this because it's gonna take my time. I don't want to indulge on it. Some of you can listen to it, but it's very important. It's very important that everything Onyendu have said have come to pass, and we knew when this was coming up, and that is why today you see what is happening in the whole southeast region, which is Biafra land of today. But thank God that after Onyendu put up this, we can see a lot of changes have made, and thank God for our. We have to give that particular respect to him, our eminent special counsel, Barrister Lawyer Jumako, for family stand and deliver message organically without any uttering any word on it, and follow suit what Onyendu have instructed. And some of them are saying that they don't believe in Onyendu's handwriting. It amazes you that they don't believe in Onyendu writing, but you see how they are mimicking themselves. And now, this young man, like I said before, if you have anything to offer, you need to offer it instead of you making mockery of yourself, because it's obvious now that it's about you making your own ends meet, how you survive on a daily basis. Those that still giving their money to you, I don't have issues with it. After all, I was once a Winners Chapel member. I was paying 10% tithe on my hard-earned money based on what they told me. So anybody can be brainwashed. It's not more my cup of tea. But what I'm saying is this, is that it's very obvious. Now, Sowore went to see Onyendu. He jumped on it, you know what I mean? He said, I just received a message from Onyendu today about how Ejiofor blocked Sowore. How did you receive this message? He's contradicting himself. He received a message from Onyendu. Onyendu sent message to you through who? You see, this is why we know who are the people that is actually the problem we have. The real enemies, sometimes they don't know when they are confessing. You said that Onyendu handwriting wasn't Onyendu handwriting because it didn't suit you. Because you know it goes against your criminality in Biafra land. Now, you coming out, this is not the first time you're writing that Onyendu sent message to you. And my question is that, who is the person bringing this message to you? So how did this message be verified that Onyendu sent this message to you? Do you see how people, that's why I said both sides of the aisle, these are the main people, because all of them have DSS they're working with. They have DSS they're working with. The drug addicts in South Africa are brag with it, that they have information from DSS. This wasn't hiding. Sarah reporter are putting up and he's writing this message that the same Onyendu, he don't take orders from in DSS dungeon. How more contradictive can you be? You see that these are mediocres. Very important. That's for those that saying they are confused. I don't care if you guys are clapping hands and that's entirely up to you. That's not my problem. I'm not really telling people which way to go. If you want to turn start working with your head, it's entirely up to you. But my thing is this: when people are talking, you need to judge them by their words. This guy is saying, I have just received a message from Onyendu today about how Ejiofor blocked Sowore from seeing Onyendu today. According to the message, Ejiofor deliberately instructed DSS to block him. And he said, I'm calling out Sowore. What are you calling out to Sowore from? Sowore have no business with you. You know what I mean? It's very childish and rubbish. You want to make yourself important, why you're not. Somewhere has been there. He's gone to see Onyendu, and the guy have the whole Sahara reporter. He be in your bedroom writing rubbish. You know, so he's a born journalist. He's been there for what he believe in. Believe in Nigeria. So let him fight for it. And he got into most respect for Onyendu. It is something that was not hidden. But how do you believe this message now from Onyendu? Fundamental question for some of you that don't have common sense. But you believe this question. You believe this from whom? Who did you get the message from? But Onyendu's lawyer message that came directly to you to stop using Onyendu's name for criminality that you've been warned. He playing hard man. He deceiving yourselves. One thing I must tell you guys is that Simon Ekpa has been warned officially. He acknowledged it. Very, 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 the particular warning communicate to him. That's how litigation starts. Defamation and impersonating people's name is a big crime. When it's established, because he comes in with a heavy tax, and a lot of investigation we're going to go through. Is not something maybe thinking that it's just easy. Some of you that clapping hand today will come out tomorrow and be saying, "Oh, but I thought we are fighting for Biafra." No, our leader have said it, and it is putting explicitly. Stop using Mazen Nandekano for any of your criminality. And the reason why is very obvious that you can't do anything on your own. You have no agenda. I've said it before. Every day, every week, you guys are raising funds. And in this fund you're raising, people that campaign against IPOB finance, including Chikedozium, to destroy IPOB within. Today, it has become your personal enterprise, gathering people and collecting money from them. You killing people in Biafra land. But do that thing with your own picture and demand that money for yourself. Stop, because every single time you put up this poster, we're keeping them. Your first Facebook account you used when he was talking against our leader, he disabled it. This time around, it's not going to be the same anymore. He disabled your Facebook account. All the things he said in the past, he disabled it. Or some of our people, I never paid attention on what you're saying, but my thing is that when Onyendu speak, I don't care who that person is. You've been warned. You've been warned. Stop using Mazen Nandekanu's name. You are claiming that you are government in exile, the fourth one in our time. Deal with it. Convince your followers without Onyendu's picture. You don't take order from Onyendu. Why are you using Onyendu's picture on anything you do? You're not a member of IPOB. You come like Ojukwu, claim that Ojukwu is our internal leader. I call him my leader. But that doesn't mean I'm going to use his name for anything I do. It doesn't work that way. I'm saying this today because some of you now, when we started talking about Chinas and Woro and Co., when we warned about this guy, what to do to him, the so-called dogs was the same line with him because what they are doing was to destroy IPOB within. And today, I would have spoken, and you can see how double standard is it. Now he's getting message from Onyendu. Who is bringing that message to you? Who is the person that passing that information to you that now Onyendu cannot send message? Onyendu is in DSS. You can't take order from Onyendu. Onyendu is not asking to take order from him because Onyendu never give you any duty. You have no duty in IPOB. I'm saying my own clear the way it is. I don't mimic. We warned, and I'm gonna continue hammering because the day will happen. I will tell you guys, we warned you, we told you. But the thing is that average, especially Igbo man, there's something in you that is deafening your ear. And because of the myopicness, the way we reason, is the biggest problem, the hindrance we ever had in our generation. I think it's a play. This is not a play. We cannot allow mediocrity into what we're doing. It's not a joke. It's not a play. It's not child's play. Stop with your raising fund. Go ahead and raise fund on your name. This is a pure criminality. Remember that we said this to you over time. We are reminding you now because they will come. Some of you will start ranting. Oh, I thought we are fighting. It's not fighting for Mazen Namdekan. It's not. For your information, Simon Ekpa is not fighting for Onyendu. He's fighting for his pocket. I, George, you said it. And I can give you 1,001 reason why. I just showed you. You don't pick and choose when it suits you. Whenever we find you one thing, we expose you because I don't give a F about, I don't care. Who is Simon Ekpa? Is he a member of IPOB? Of course not. If you have anything, if you have any agenda, some of you that are ranting, go and listen to him. What is he saying that I want to listen to? What has he said that different? Sit at home is something will start 2016 that you guys have destroyed. The only thing that will use that have worked, you guys have destroyed it. Because anything you will touch, you will turn it into stupor. You don't abuse things. IPOB was not first people that used Mahatma Gandhi started it. Freedom fighters in the past have implemented sit at home systematically. Civil disobedience, but not to abuse. You cannot oppress those that have been oppressed if you don't have common sense. I ask you, bring your 5-point agenda without mentioning IPOB and Mazen. Can answer if you want to answer, dog, entirely up to you. But you've been warned. Stop using Mazen Nandekano's name. Now you don't mention IPOB. You mention Mazen Nandekano. Stop mentioning Onyendu's name. I'm putting his picture to convince people to contribute money to YouTube because this is a criminal, this is a pure criminal act. You've been warned. I will drop it here. Some of you will be writing rubbish. It's not about you, I don't give a crap about all of you because I know that all your people don't have, some of you are, their margins are more, they're better than all of you. Even the ones that went to school, doctors and lawyers, that's not, your people are empty brain. Because when a man is ungovernable, you have got nothing to offer. You cannot reason. Useless person that disobeyed Onyendu openly publicly. Now you're writing that, you're tweeting that, which government of the world want to associate with individual like this? It is very quite obvious. Don't you know people do investigation? Tell me any sitting government in the world want to sit down with a man that is double standard. There's so many evidence against you in public domain. You just wrote that Onyendu got message from our leader. In the other hand, they say, no, Onyendu cannot give you, can't listen to our leader from the prison. Oh, Onyendu doesn't send message from prison. Who do you think you're talking to? Yeah? When the message came, don't speak to Simon Ekpa no matter what, everybody was clapping. Yeah? Isn't it? You guys must be insane. Anyway, I don't care. This is not for. I'm not interested in people that have no brain. You understand me? So, what we preach here, it is concern our leader. In Biafra Radio, what we preach is about things that have to guide IPOB, not picking on people. It's not picking on people. This is a fact, and it's been said. Onyendu have said it. There's no other place you have to make it open. It is in this platform. Do not use Mazen Nandekano in criminality. Simple as ABC. This is a Bubago, and all of you know the history of a Bubago, so I'm not gonna waste my time on this anymore. I'm not gonna allow this to play. Probably anytime I have time, I will play it. Now, I'm gonna go into what is happening in sub-Saharan Africa. Everybody see what is happening. I'm just gonna play a short clip on Gabon. You can see the Gabonians are overjoyed. So we can say coup d'etat. Coup d'etat is springing up in all sub-Sahara, especially West Africa. Now it's gone to Central Africa because Gabon is Central Africa. Now, what you must understand, and all these countries are being that former French colony, so they're actually losing the grip because they sat down in 1815 in Berlin and divided. They set up boundaries in Africa and they shared the land among. That's why France is being given ultimatum to leave. They're still there. They don't recognize that. And who are you to decide? There's uprising in France. He couldn't deal with it, but you want to come in. You want to oppose people in their own land. You see, everything that have beginning have end. And a good gambler knows when to say no, when to quit. The time is up for the West. Their propaganda for over the years The servitude for over the years against the people of those sub-Saharan Africa, they brainwashed our forebearers. But the era that we're in now, things have changed. And they're going to label, you see what is happening in the Francophone, which is French and English Anglophones, is that British was so smart to start from the beginning now, telling those that was in uniform, now take off your uniform, right? And now contest again and become, because the zoo does not rule by civilian. Even the so-called constitution, Abubakar Salami 1999 constitution was a decree. Nikon, not that in Abuja is where they wrote that thing you see. It wasn't anybody, there was nobody that signed up to it. So they knew that a day like this will come. Britain is a little bit smarter. So what they did was, like you see, Ugandan president and who else again in Africa that is being not maybe not from West Africa. I don't even know their names. And the Cameroon one is there. The one is dying as well. Cameroon is being in turmoil because of the Ambazonia. They've been fighting. So, but everybody expecting coup to happen in the zoo is going to be difficult because why? The people ruling the zoo is the military people ruling the zoo. And the military are corrupt to teeth, and all of them have been eating money from inception. They're not been, it's not like they're part of the government. That's the problem. It's not going to happen in the zoo. But the wave is going to force things to happen around them. Just mark this word. If you're looking for Q, it's not going to happen in the zoo. Because Britain is, even in Sierra Leone, I think the president they have now was a former, Marabido was a military junta, you know, so the mother, because I know there very well. So, but like I said, it is something that if you see the formation, Burkina Faso, Mali, now Niger, which is the closest to the zoo, which is Niger is like the zoo. Some of you don't know. Even Buhari is from Niger, right? So now it's not going to happen, but something is going to happen just within time. As long as things will happen. So, but just see how the people we are joyful to show you that this is what people want. You can't take it away from them.
No.
I'm Ali Bongo Ondimba, President of Gabon, and I'm to send a message to all the fans.
But do you know the ironic thing about this man? The history has it that this guy was one of, a lot of people don't know what happened to us. That's why I said that probably were causeways. It was Biafran war was only war that the people that went for refuge never returned back to their homeland. All our kit and kin that were lifted from Biafra land never came back. They never came back. They never brought them back because they never, and the zoo never wanted to talk about the war. I believe there are some people that they buried. Some of them still alive somewhere. Maybe they found their way out of the zoo. But nobody came back. It was only our internal leader that they pardoned openly that he came back. They confused him to come back to ridicule him. This man was one of the Biafran child. Taken to Gabon, he was adopted by the so-called Eddie Bongo family or whatnot. And he has ruled. And I think he knows his own history. But look him, he couldn't even barely speak. The man is paralyzed. He's changing constitution in president of election. The people won't have it. So this kind of people, there's no need. You want people to do what? To campaign for you in your dying bed? Of course not. Very pathetic.
That we have all over the world to tell them to make noise, to make noise.
Make
For
what
the people
noise?
here have arrested me and my family. My son is somewhere. My wife is in another place, and I'm at the residence. Right now, I'm in the residence, and nothing happening. Nothing is happening. I don't know what's going on. So I'm calling you to make noise.
You know, the funny thing is that the noise is talking about, the citizens are making joyful noise, not for noise for him, but they are rejoicing for this day. Tells you all you need to know. You know, it's very important. Tells you all you need to know. Imagine 55 years. 55 goddamn good years. Man seeking for third term. The family has been ruling Gabon. Come on now. Come on. And French is sucking them dry.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Well, the zoo is concerned, Jagaban is concerned, but like I said from the beginning, yeah, anybody expecting the coup d'etat in the zoo is not going to happen, because the military general, the people that is in charge are the military in charge of the zoo. They take off their uniform from Sonia Abacha. That's why Britain advised them, say, you know what, take off your uniforms and take over the government. That's what they did. So it's going to be difficult for anybody to say they're overthrowing the government, because even the Jagaban that is there, they are the one that put him there. They're the one in charge. What have I done?
Personal sacrifices in his own life.
Look at the idiot.
Different regions of
Look the idiot they bring to talk.
socio-political. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is watching developments in Gabon very closely with deep concern for the country's socio-political stability and the seeming autocratic contagion apparently spreading across different regions of our beloved continent. The President, as a man who has made significant personal sacrifices in his own life in the cause of advancing and defending democracy, is of the unwavering belief.
You know that every time they're changing their games, they bring a Lebanese boy now to be, is that a spokesman, because I don't pay attention in their politics, you know. But it's quite pathetic, because everybody knows the roles of Jagaban when the issue of Abiola sprang out and what he did. He ran away from the zoo. We have all these newspaper was talked about it. But the thing is, their concern does not tantamount to anything. Like I said, there's no any film about anybody's going to overthrow or do any coup d'etat in that Dominable Zoological Republic. But the zoo, like Onyendu said, I'm going to play Onyendu's voice here, that if they don't give us Biafra, the Somalia will be a paradise to compare to the zoo. So I just want to, the way I'm allowing him to talk, because what he's saying doesn't really make sense. But they're concerned, even the Niger, they can't do nothing. This is not when they invaded Liberia and Sierra Leone. It cannot happen. It's not going to happen now. It's going to be brought, because you don't know the kind of weapon these people have. What they were doing there, because they have Alpha Jet, they can bully people, the rebels, because rebels only have RPGs and anti-aircraft, but Alpha Jet, you wouldn't get it. So that's the only thing they were using. On the ground, they killed a lot of them there. A lot of them were dead in Sierra Leone, Liberia. They died in thousands, to be fair. The only thing they normally harass them with was only Alpha Jet. But you can't go and harass Mali because probably they got B-52. Russia will give it to them and drone. So you're going to fight. The world has gone to different. It attacked them today. Probably drone will be attacking everywhere in the zoo. So it's very important people be careful what they say and what they wish. But what I'm saying here, we told them, we tell them, if we don't allow Biafra to go, they don't allow us to go in peace. All we want, leave us alone. And the rest of Africa have woken up, you know. So this young man here, they brought their face that people will be intimidated with. These are one of those, probably is a Fulani or Lebanese. I've seen this guy before, talked one time about IPOB, but you know, it doesn't make any sense. So for me, concern about Gabon, Gabon is the Central Africa. The one is close next to door to you, which is Niger. Niger is zoo. You wouldn't even know the difference. I don't know if they have border. Because if you live in the north, if you live before, Kazaware was close to Niger. So that's where Daura, where Buhari live. They are close to Niger. So, I mean, but their concern is quite, it's quite, I don't know, it's very, very laughable, to be fair. You know, but just listen to him for a second. I'm going to take him off because I'm going to end this program.
That power belongs in the hands of Africa's great people and not in the barrel of a loaded gun. The president affirms.
You know, it is quite pathetic because, like I said, the zoo is ruled by, it's military rule. That's why every single thing that happened, military came out and be killing people. What do you think they have all this? Why military is one they use to bring people down? Every country don't see military, even in all the military just don't come out easily. They've got mobile police, but they wouldn't use mobile police to do anything. That's why they have mobile police. It's the military has been ruling from the day Abacha take off uniform. Military has been ruling the zoo. You can see it now. It's not the barrel of gun, but that's one the hypocrisy of this individual. I don't know who they think they are talking to. Who do you think he's talking to? Please, man.
That the rule of law and a faithful recourse to constitutional resolutions and instruments of electoral dispute resolution.
Electoral dispute resolution, the one you're sitting on top, the man you're talking about is questionable. So, you know, it is very, very pathetic. That's why it's a shenanigan. I'm not going to listen to it because it's cracking my ears, you know. But the truth about the matter is that people need to be careful. And I just want to play this last video. This is we have
International.
French being told.
Niger's military leaders have informed the French government that diplomatic immunity has been removed from French ambassador to Niger, Sylvain Ité, and they've instructed authorities to proceed with eviction. France has said they don't have the authority. Military leaders who removed Niger's president from...
Is it not pathetic that France is saying that they don't have the authority? Who have the authority? You know, What is happening in the world will tell you all you need to know. The prophecy of a prophet, Onyendu, have turned the whole world upside down. Everything will work in our favor. That's why you need to be alert. You need to be vigilant. Onyendu said, I want you. Some people are saying what makes you an IPOB member. Some people say, oh, IPOB means you're indigenous people. Nobody's who's addressed this issue many times. IPOB means indigenous people of Biafra. No question about it. All of us are indigenous people. But IPOB is an organization that have stood in the gap, that was registered in this country. It doesn't fall from it, it's not manna. And without that act of diligence, it won't be. Who told you that? Who gave you that name? Who made it possible? So if you're not part of what those that make, you don't have to argue about it. It can be indigenous person, indigenous people, no problem. But don't claim IPOB when you're not a member of IPOB. It's not a claim. Like I said, it is not wishful thinking, and it's not mediocrity. This is real. Like Madam Anya would all tell you, everything we do is documented. Like I said, I was paying 10% of my money to pastors that did nothing for me. These are criminals. As I leave. These are in private enterprise for themselves. It's not like the Methodist church or Catholic church that even they are based on charity. So be careful of what you say. IPOB means doesn't mean that you are part of what we are doing. Of course, if you're not a member, you're not part of us. That's a fundamental. Don't argue about that because it will make you stupid and dumb.
From power on July the 26th told the French ambassador last week that he had 48 hours to leave after he refused to meet with the junta-appointed foreign minister. Let's go straight now to our correspondent in Paris, Natasha Butler. And Natasha, in quite extraordinary news, perhaps not unexpected given the...
Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on this. I don't have time to play all this video. French is making themselves mockery of themselves by refusing to leave. Every other country diplomatically have evacuated Mali, and French saying they don't have the authority. I don't know who gave them the authority to tell them they don't have authority in their own. If the sovereign state told you to leave in their soil, you're telling them this is a lot is going to happen. You know, we are just watching very closely. But like I said, the wave of coup d'etat in Africa is a pure revolution. Anybody don't misquote barrier of Nigeria has been ruled by military from day one. The zoological republic from the day of Abacha taking off uniform to today. What they have do is use military to oppress people. You see military on the street shooting, gone. The only country that military are on the every checking point you see military there. What does it tell you? It's something that is obvious. So all these countries you see now, before you see the military come outside, unless they're doing parade, you don't see them hanging out because there's no insurrection in the country. So why would the military be on every checking point? Though that Boko Haram is everywhere, they created Boko Haram because they make all these things possible. When they wanted power, they created Boko Haram and started bombing everywhere, killing people. Now they have brought their mayhem in our land as well, courtesy of those that were supposed to know better. So I'm going to wrap up this program, but I want to listen to Onyendu for a minute, and Onyendu prayer, and I close the program. Just to let you know, this is Good Evening London on Biafra Radio, and what we say here is truth and nothing but the truth. Anything we say, we bring evidence. This is the voice of the voiceless for avoidance of doubt. There we go.
So between us and Buhari, Alamajiri pedophile. He said he commanded men at war to come to Owerri. Is that correct? This is 2015. They should do their worst and we'll do ours. But one thing is guaranteed. At the end of this very fight, Somalia will be better than the zoo. At the end of this process in Aga, Somalia will be better than the Zoological Republic. When I speak, write it. There is nothing I have said on this platform hasn't come to pass. I said no.
That is a word of prophet. And some of you don't know. If you are in spirit, you understand who our leader is. And I will leave you with the closing prayers of our leader. Fellow comrade and robbers of freedom, I thank you once again for listening to us this evening on Biafra Radio. And this is Good Evening Rundown with Mazi George Ume here in UK. And it's good evening from here. That one.
Pedophile.
Power Media International.
Onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye duru ndị ya n'ụzọ ije si ebe niile dị iche iche ma ala Biafra, anyị na-enye gị otuto, anyị na-enye gị nsọpụrụ, anyị na-enye gị njem n'ihi ihe gbasara IPOB zuru ụwa niile oke. Onwe ebe ọbụla ị gara gị ahụ IPOB nwa ụmụnne m n'ime nzọpụta na nwere onwe Biafra. Anyị ji ofu obi were ịhụnanya were mmekọta nwanne na nwanne wee na-aga ije. Ihe na-asị na ọ bụghị mmadụ dị ndụ mana ọ bụ nsogbu ga-abịa. Anyị na-asị na Biafra ka kapịta nke anyị. Ise ndọrọgbu ọgwụ ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ. Nwa mmadụ nwoke nwa mmadụ ha anyị na-ekwu ntụ ahụ. Ọ ga-adị Biafra na mma. Ise ihe Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe onye obi ya nwa na onwe ya kere anyanwụ ka anyị na-edewa n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu.
Do not allow us, O mighty one, to fall prey to those who do not know thee. You will deliver us, not because we are righteous, but because of your mercy. Hear our cry and our supplication. We are not armed. We have not killed anyone. We have not jailed anyone. We have not done anything at all to warrant the level of destruction and carnage being visited upon your children. The same way Israel suffered, so is Biafra suffering today. And if you, Elohim, can deliver Israel, so will you deliver Biafra. That is our hope. That is our anchor of everything that we hold dear as a race and as a people. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High Himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake Biafra will come. Israel lost people, and today Israel is here as a beacon of hope in a land filled with darkness. We beseech thee, Elohim, because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. We have come to honor your holy name. We have come to praise thee. We have come to honor thee, that your name may be glorified, adored, and praised forever and ever. Ise, Ise, Ise.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on your time zone. My name is Amaze George Kume. I reside here in the United Kingdom. As one of the principal servants of indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB North London to be precise. This is Good Evening London. And this is Biafra Radio worldwide. And today is another wonderful day. And today is the 23rd year of our Lord, August 2023. And it's 44 minutes on top of the hour in anywhere you are at the same time in the Holy Land of Biafra, which is 44 minutes past 8 p.m. in Biafra, Holy Land of Biafra, and United Kingdom as well. Tonight is a wonderful night, and this program is called Good Evening London on Biafra Radio. And I welcome you. As I welcome you, please welcome others. We are going to be diving into a couple of things tonight as a tradition. But before I start, I just want to reiterate again and remind those that the hardcore IPOB members, regardless what you might think, regardless what you are doing, how you're feeling doesn't change anything, because we have sworn an oath to restore Biafra. As we all know, there are so many of us that are disgruntled, misinformed, but you choose that path because you know there's one IPOB that Onyenduma hasn't kind of found. And it is a laid down rules, which is our code of conduct structure that everybody must be followed. It doesn't matter how your feelings might be hurt. If you allow yourself to be hoodwinked, detrimental to your generation, that's all I can promise you. There is nobody, there is no other way around it. There is no back door around it. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is held in DSS dungeon for over 2 years and counting. Is not because he loved being in prison. He loved his two parents. He's being kidnapped in 2015, 14th of October, if you have forgotten, which he told them that he was coming back home. And indeed, a lot of people think that Onyendu was talking, just like some people today having fun. It is not a wishful thinking. Freedom is not giving. He must, pay a price for it. You can't be on your own comfort zone and be ascribing for freedom. Is detrimental, because there's a price for every freedom. Even for you to acquire anything you do, qualification, there's a price for it. So regardless of you might feel, there's no back door to achievement. There must be a price. And that price that we have paid and continue to pay is that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have chosen to bear the burden upon every single one of unborn children of Biafra. That's the reason why. It's not questionable, but it's something that is visible. And they have acted upon his words. And Biafra Radio today is now speaking the voice of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because what we thought is a way of life. Biafra is our religion. We don't know any other religion, because when people start procrastinating, then you ask, where are they coming from? You go into school and in study, you learn. After 5 years, you spend years on Radio Biafra. Over these years, what did you learn? How could you be, suddenly be forgotten all the things you've been taught? It is very, very, very detrimental to every single one of us. Like I always said, I have got no issue with people's decision. The same way is religion. All you need to say, if you want to worship, sound is that up to you. But there's things we don't need to mix. Even though you go to work in any country, they preserve people's right. There's things you must not avoid not to talk about. because it doesn't change anything, but the people's belief is saw something, they have to force down their throat. So what am I saying in essence is that my fellow comrades and lovers of freedom, Biafra Radio have represent is what has brought that joy and that mechanism of IPOB, the camaraderie of IPOB one family. Where has IPOB one family been? You have not asked yourself this question. What have you done since Onyendu been rendition? Are you holding a legend to people that ought to know better? Or are you holding a legend to restore Biafra? Your allegiancy only on Biafra represent under IPOB. You sworn an oath. As a comrade the other day that said something in a forum that I've been for a while, I preside a lot of people's oaths, and I will say it again. I resign this as a warning. To every single one of us is a duty that you cannot, there's nothing you can do to get away from that oath. What that oath say will do is what it's going to do. Onyendu said, in your quote, he said, any day I dream or I think of betraying Biafra, if Chukwuka Biama did not destroy his household, you know that Chukwuka Biama does not exist. So I indulge you. What we are saying here is that we are calling IPOB worldwide. Let me say something to you. Biafra is not a deja vu. No. It's not a mirage. This is reality. And there's a way to, how do you restore Biafra when you don't have any plan? We had this 2015, people were chanting, oh, we have roadmaps. Onyendu was in prison. People wanted to hijack IPOB. I said it over time. What you're seeing today is no different. That is why people like us will not move. Because we are schooled well in IPOB and on Radio Biafra, and we follow the full path of our leader and follow that code of conduct. If you follow code of conduct, you will never go wrong. You won't have enemy. People might hate you, just like me. I don't have issues with individuals. What am I having? What are you, my brother or my sister? Of course not. What are you? Are you feeding me? Of course not. But the point is that what brought us together is the oath we took to restore Biafra. And that's what I'm back on. Just like when you go to work, there's a guiding principle. You might call it or code of conduct in your workplace. You must abide to it. The day you start deviating from that, you're going to have a problem with your employee, with your employer. Exactly how what we see in IPOB. A lot of people, I see people saying, oh, they tried so many groups. And when the people sound like that, you know that these are not IPOB members. We are not here to follow people. We were meant to restore Biafra in truth and be white and white and whiter than snow. That is exactly what IPOB was formed. And that is who our leader is. And our leader have not deviated for one day. The two parents has gone. Someone will tell me, oh, why is the kind of family involving in IPOB? And I goes, are you okay? You should have said that to His Royal Majesty and where's the law? No, they shouldn't have got involved. All of you were singing and clapping when they were involved. You never told them, oh, this is not a family business. Suddenly now it's a family business. Because you people think you have a right. So my monologue tonight is that I'm encouraging you as a fellow comrade, we must fall back into IPOB, the real IPOB. Every flank you've seen today, these are propagandists, people that try, these are people that jump on bandwagon. They have something they're ascribing for. They want something from IPOB. And I'll tell you what, I have got no issues with individuals. I keep on saying it. The people I have problem with are those Onyendu have given the duty of leadership, the mantra of leadership, in a sense that when I'm not there, I want you to pass these messages to whomever. Their job, if Chika Paul Edoziem was following the guidelines of IPOB, his job was administrative job. IPOB was structured in a way. That's why Onyendu always take a pride when he describes IPOB, because his powers in our code of conduct. And that is why a lot of people might end up in prison, because if you've been prosecuted, what will we throw? Just look at what happened in South Africa. When they went and do what they did, we went to court. The court asks organization, what principle guides you? It's our code of conduct that guides you in every country you are in. It can be interpreted. Once you interpret it, you found out that everybody will run away. It's not something. That's why I told him, I said, I don't argue. Personally, you're not in my lead. I don't need you for anything. But we are in struggle. And that struggle has been an interface between all of us. So that is the reason why I have to come down from my high horse to speak to some individual. If God forbidding that I didn't have my voice, what in earth will make me and you get contact to each other? I don't think that something like that would ever happen. But having said that, what I'm saying tonight is that so many of us have forgotten the foundation we were brought up in. That means that you were not embedded in IPOB, what IPOB was meant for. And that is what Biafra Radio have come. Because our focus was turned into a shred, and Onyendu has sent that to abyss. As it is today, is in IPOB archives. Biafra Radio has remained the mouthpiece of Biafra and Onyendu. The day Onyendu will come out, Biafrans will know. Just like those that started confessing their sin to Biafrans. But tonight, like I rightly put up here, I want to clean. And when we want to drag the riffraffs on the mold, we step down to the lower chamber and deal with issues decisively. If I'm not mistaken, I said I was going to go more in depth on the sacked lawyers and their conspiracy theory against Onyendu, Mazen and IPOB at large. And definitely I'll be going, like I've been, general analysis within IPOB and our African crisis. I'm definitely going to have a touch on that. But having said that, that's something that is very, very imperative that we must understand. The double standard that the so-called sack lawyers, if I need your fault to start with, I'm not going to be going into details and trying to pull up whatever happened, but some of you have overheard me said it before, and the documents are out there. Ejiofor falsified numerous documents against IPOB. It is not something hidden, and we will talk it on this radio because it's very, very imperative. Those people that say they're confused, those people that say they're depressed, this is time for you to start picking up your pieces where you have dropped them. But we must guide you. We have difficulties, ask questions, we give you direction, sense of belongings, and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm saying tonight is very simple. Zekome, there's something that just came up, and it's quite disheartening, because I need to talk about this. Even though that these individuals has been relieved their position as the legal representative to Onyendu, is very, very important. People understand the position of IPOB and our leader. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this thing up here is because when people speak, they forgot what they have said. Just like when they tell the judgment that were given to Onyendu, Zekome was not there in person. He traveled to Miami. Ifeanyi Ejiofor sent a Fulani man to go and tell the order that we won in court. Some of us forgotten the day they got this date of 14th of September that Zekome, give a press release after this sitting. Him and Ifeanyi Ejiofor went and get this date. Nobody know what they discussed. And the man said it there. It was because of the so-called their annual leave. That was the reason why the Supreme Court annual leave, that's why they push it on 14th of September, 2023. He specifically mentioned that it was because of their annual leave. Now, one question you should be asking Ezekome, when was the last time, even though you've been sacked and still positioning yourself, because all these things is about the way they get funds from the zoo. And this is the agent of the provocateur and the evil men around to make sure that our leader is men in DSS dungeon. Now, You can see this thing was written on 2nd of August. This is 2nd of August. 2nd of August. This man wrote this. On the 11th, this particular memo, if I call it a memo, was on 2nd of August 2023. And he said, on the 11th of May 2023, the above appeal came up before the Supreme Court and they were adjourned to 14th September 2023 for definite hearing. Remember, it was a Zekome and Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Only them went in and get this date. Nobody else. I remember on this interview, I had another video where Ejiofor was the person went that same day to go and visit Onyendu. None of these individuals stepped in DSS dungeon. They were busy giving press release to the zoo. Now, if you come down, he said, perhaps it was not known to the Honorable Court at that time that the Supreme Court will still be on its annual recession by the 14th of September 2023. Are you joking me? Are you joking me? I don't think someone understands. This man has been the advocate because the reason why is because this guy, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. I don't know if our people are paying attention. This is who's supposed to be defending our leader. He's conceding against our opponent without even them saying a word. They should be the one pulling this particular memo out to defend themselves. Why they could not? Because they have given us date already. But guess what? The case is reversed because this man does not work for Onyendu, but these are the people that are undermining our leaders' judicial process in the zoo, which Onyendu have not case to answer. Remember that our leader was kidnapped in Kenya. On the 19th of June and 29th, they brought to the zoo. He committed no crime known to man, because before you try Mazen Nandekan, you must first of all establish where he brought him from. Which is tomorrow much while we know our leader is a prisoner of conscience, and his fundamental right has been abused. Now, for avoidance of that, this is how these people will continue to expose their evil. This is the same person that we are meant to be our defender in court, defending Onyendu to get Onyendu his right. He's the one now conceding and doing the job for the people that were supposed to be fighting against. He's telling us that he did not know, but the man said it in his interview that it was because of their annual recess. Because of their annual recess, that's why they gave them 14th. And he said they did not know that will still be in their recess till 14th of September. But you collected this date yourself. Very, very important. I'm saying this because we need to know. These people are not working for Onyendu. IPOB, the real IPOB must understand that this is our number one enemies we've got. I said it before, it was hired, but probably recommended by somebody, and the Ejiofor have attached themselves to this man so much, and that is why from day one, I never trusted this man. I know that the man was a mediocre. We can see through people from a distance. And he have made a lot of blunder. All this cake English that he's speaking, looking at copying word from a dictionary is not what doesn't for those that don't know English word, that the people that are going to be confused, not people like us. Now, I'm indulging his own words because I'm going to play his video. Because after I want you to underline the word where he said that Supreme Court will still be on its annual recession by the 14th of September 2023, to which the above appeal were adjourned, and that it will not resume till 18th September 2023 and start sitting on 25th September 2023. All this garbage wouldn't supposed to be coming out from this man. That's number one. All this whole thing is lies. They knew what they were doing. He's now the one exacting the date. Not the Supreme Court have not put any press release saying, oh, we couldn't do what we should do. Oh, we fall short now. Or they send it to him. All these are lies. He was part of this whole, gimmicks they're playing with our leader. And this is the reason why this man and his cohort has been sacked. Because if a Zekome will come out and told you that he has went to see Mars and can ask him, when was the last time he sat down with Onyendu and speak as his defense lead counsel, whatever you want to call it? Now, he goes on to say, with the above background and the exonerating circumstances and the peculiar fact of this appeal, which involve the liberty and crucial health condition of apparent and brackets Nnamdi Kanu, we humbly pray. You see, when they start saying pray, know that these people are not qualified to be your attorney. A lawyer will not be using the word pray. Pray for what? Pray for what? What are you praying for? You've been given a job to do. If you want to pray, we could go consult a pastor. Not a pastor. You say your psalm. But here you praying that my Lord may kindly fix the appeal for 28th of September when the criminal appeal session commence. I mean, when you listen to this, how can this man be a defender to Mazen when you Mazen Namdekan? A man that played in the gallery. This man and a Jofo is the biggest setback that we have, even though Mazi Onyendu did not have any case to answer. The whole world is aware of this. But for avoidance of doubt, it is imperative we know the truth. This same man that they call Sam, because they think we forget things. We don't forget things. We keep things when you least expected. We will give it to you. Now, this same man, this is the same man we're talking about. This man collected an award from dead Buhari. This is the award he collected from dead Buhari. This is why I'm bringing all these things up tonight, because this is very, very disheartening that these guys will be playing ping pong with our leaders' freedom, based that they are the primary enemies we have. Now they're becoming emboldened because all this junk he just wrote amounted to nothing. But I want to play his audio concerning the day they got this date, and you hear what he said with his own mouth.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, today's proceedings border essentially on the main appeal, which we believe was ripe for hearing. When this case came up on the 27th of April, Thursday, 27th of April, the Supreme Court ordered the federal government to file their brief of argument as appellant within 6 days. They had asked for 5 days, but the Supreme Court was gracious enough to give them 6 days. They did not file that brief until Tuesday. Even when they filed it on Tuesday, I discovered that the brief was 53 pages, more than the threshold of the 40 pages allowed by the Supreme Court. I'm not the kind of lawyer to embarrass opponents. So I told the Supreme Court.
This is the same person. Just, you know, it is not for anything, but for us to clarity. Listen to him. He was meant to be aggressive against our opponent. That is why we employed you in the first place. By then, he was not been sacked then, but he could hear him now, you know, sentimentally trying to put himself in a position that, I mean, he's not the kind of lawyer. I mean, why are you getting paid for? It's quite absurd. But I want him to carry on because we want to hear when he's emphatically, you know, commented about the reason why they gave that 14th of September 2023. Now he's the same person pulling memory again, contradicting himself. I mean, I don't understand it. And you have to sit back and ask yourself a question. Why and what is the purpose of this individual? What are they for? What do they want to achieve? Very, very important.
I mean, I told Ghazali yesterday from the Federal Ministry of Justice and his junior, I called them and then also wrote to them that the practice and convention at the Supreme Court is that a brief should not exceed 40 pages. So they had to file another one on Wednesday, which they served us late on Thursday. We had only the weekend to prepare our own respondents brief, which we duly filed on Tuesday in the morning and served them. So from all intents and purposes, the appeal was ripe for hearing. But today, the federal government came and said they wanted to file a reply brief. I told their counsel, you can even, these points of law you are showing me which you want to file formally, you can stand up and say them orally, verbally, and we will not oppose. In any event, you are saying we raised a preliminary objection in our brief. It was raised in our brief, not as a separate document. But I believe that their own intention was to stall the proceedings because he said he had the instruction of the Attorney General that he must reply to it. I said, no one is saying you should not reply. But it doesn't have to be in a written form. You can reply orally. We have all done it now and again by replying orally, verbally. He would not do that. So the Supreme Court said, in order not to show them out, they will give them a short time to file the reply within 2 days. Then I begged the Supreme Court, I pleaded with the Supreme Court to give us the shortest possible date, even this month or early next month. But they looked at their calendar and their docket that is pitiably full. It's so unfortunate this is the busiest Supreme Court in the world because all manner.
This is his word. You know, like I said, we don't like say things without proving what we've said. This is this video went on where he says that he's peacefully fooled, and the only time they could allow because of their annual recess is 14th of September 2023. And now he went back again and saying, he himself said it with his own mouth, not me. Now, he now went back again, and now he's the same person coming back again and defending this particular date they gave. Because if you go in and listen to what he says here, he is now building defense for them. It's not like the Supreme Court have come out and say anything or written anything openly, because this is an international case. Supreme Court have not uttered a word, but this is his own word. Now, he's the one defending the Supreme Court that the Supreme Court did not, Supreme Court would still be. Perhaps it was not known. He said, perhaps it was not known to the Honorable Court at at the time, how wouldn't they know about the annual recess? How wouldn't they know? But he said it with your own mouth on interview. Principally food, and that because of that, why they push it to September 14. And now you same person come back again. You know, the reason why I'm stressing on this is because it's about time our people stop playing games. What you could see is that everybody, but you know, one thing I know is that Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi is aware of all these things. Onyendu said, if you know what you could do to restore Biafra, do it. And if you know what you could do to stop Biafra from not being restored, do it as well. So you see, all these people you see in today, some people are saying that they are this, they are that. None of them are real. And that's why over time, they will continue to expose their evil agenda. He just shot himself in the foot here. It is very clear. The reason why is because of the annual recess. That's why they got 14th of September. But here he's saying perhaps it was not known to the Honorable Court at that time that the Supreme Court will still be on its annual recess by the 14th of September. How wouldn't they know this is a fundamental question? And the Supreme Court has not put any writing up anything publicly to say, you know what, we still on our recess, or they're writing it to you. It didn't show any document proving that, but this is from you. Defending them now, begging again, you are begging, you are appealing to them to push to 28th of September. Onyendu will still be in prison, be in DSS dungeon. 14th to 28th. It's another 14 days. Another 2 weeks after, do as you guys have concocted it. So when you put all this whole thing in perspective, you ask, who are these individuals? Who are they? They don't represent Onyendu. The reason why I pointed this out in Biafra Radio, because it's very, very important that our people know who our enemies are. These people does not represent Mazi Nnamdi, they don't represent IPOB. That's one thing I want you to take to bank, and I will rest it there. Now, there's something I need to do. You know, like I said, this is Biafra Radio, but we have to talk about things that concerns Onyendu when it comes to Onyendu's issue. Nothing, there's no boundary that we can't speak about it on this platform. Now, the Benjamin Madubugu's mediocrity last week and his confession after he went to, after 8 months, they stopped him not to go and see Onyendu because Onyendu specifically requested. In that particular memo, which I can bring up here, is that Benjamin Madubugu, I don't want to mention names, but Madaka Madu was mentioned on the 11th. Yeah, and Madaka Madu, he says that particular, he says there, Madaka Madu reports immediately to him through counsel the reason for the insecurity in Imo State. He said to him, Onyendu, it wasn't to Onyendu. Madaka Madu was given instruction what to do. Madaka Madu was given instruction on this memo. Madaka Madu is part of the problem we have in, he's from Iyala. And the issue we have is, you know, because they divided us. They will say we have boundary in Osumo and all that kind of BS, which I don't believe in it. Now, that's why when I looked at him, when he started talking, some of them don't know that we don't just talk about things. But I will talk likely on this platform. I'm coming on air on Friday with Mazi AG. On Biafra Power Media, it's going to be a different scenario of program. Now, this on 11, he said, Madaka Madu, which is Benjamin Madubugu, report immediately to him through counsel the reason for the insecurity in Imo State. Ask Madaka Madu, who is him? that he was ordered to report to? Did he address that to Onyendu when he opened his mouth and said he confronted our leader? This particular message was from Madika Mad, which is Benjamin Madgu, because they think that some of us are into the struggle to make friends or do what. We don't just come out and say things, we say things with evidence. Until Madika Mad, as he came out now, they're calling him for interview, those irats. Then don't forget to ask him, on the package of force memo, on item 11, Madika report to him. Who was him? And what did he do with this message from Onyendu? And what Onyendu told him? Because he came out to talk about what he discussed with Onyendu, which he was bluntly lying against our leader, jeopardizing our. He shouldn't say. Even Onyendu give you message that's the amount, but God might have it. He give out the proper message that required. And this has been our argument from day one. IPOB is in disarray today. Some of you today are confused. The reason being because Chike Doziem and his cohort disobeyed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. There's nothing else. Our argument has been that the Onyendu word remain is a final, is a law within IPOB. If Onyendu says stop, it doesn't matter what is involved, we must stop. It doesn't, I don't care who you are. If Onyendu cough, you must listen. And it is in our code of conduct. And when he's sworn on oath, he's sworn on oath when it's under his name. So that's one thing I want to clarify tonight as well. Because, they're playing cabal. We warn them about cabal. Cabal is not allowed with that. You will be only one about it. But some of them didn't keen. They didn't understand what our leader was, referencing to. But I want to play the voice of these two men because it's important for a reason. I say, I don't want to go too deep, but let's listen to it again as I move forward.
National.
US you will because of Lias stop us at home. Have a stop for immediately. They will continue to visit at home. Open the announcement,
now, he's not actually talking about sit at home that Onyendu suspended 72 hours before China Samoru defined every order and when I announced it on Radio Biafra. He was involved. Benjamin Madika wasn't among them. He was in the meeting where they agreed to go and announce it. He's ranting here like a mad dog, like someone that have taken under influence of alcohol or drugs, thinking that when you look at him, you think there's something in his head or he's being sincere. No. He's a sycophant. We will continue to talk about this. I must continue to play his voice because our argument from day one is that Chike Doziem and his cronies flaunted our leader's order. He cannot do that. It's unacceptable. I don't care who you are. Now, the point, every ranting he have rant, the only point you must take is this. The chaotic in the IPOB, the death in Biafra land is because of singular disobedience. I told them before, I said the day the judgment day will come, none of you will escape it. You can do whatever you want to do with Onyendu's name. Like Onyendu have given some people restrictions, and they still continue, to dabble into our leader's name and IPOB, which all of you were there, allowed it. Madika, don't play double standard. We know all your dealings. And if you press further, like we always do, we will naked you completely. We will naked you completely. You want nothing. You are part of you are the one that called Chike Doziem the leader. Remember, in a meeting, it suggested that Chike Doziem now is the leader. Not even the former deputy have never for one day sat a meeting talk about our leader when our leader was in prison. That's how low all of you are. And that's why I said that even those species of renegade in 2015 are 1 million times better than all of you put together. But we'll continue. I want you to talk. The reason why he's mentioning all this name is because he knows that Ifeanyi Ejiofor never what message have Ifeanyi Ejiofor given to IPOB that was backed up? Not one message. Ejiofor started concocting lies from the moment Onyendu was rendition. Ejiofor never met Onyendu for almost 9 weeks. Ejiofor forged guidance principle and allowed them to open Umweri account under Onyendu's say. He's sitting behind Ejiofor. Ejiofor is one telling him what to say. It's quite obvious. That's why I know Ejiofor is not a qualified lawyer. In a sense, it certainly shouldn't be. Because what he's talking here, he has not even said that Onyendu said. Go and check all this report. Is the copy and paste. He never changes his pattern of message. Shows that he never get any message from our leader. You have to mention Ejiofor. Now you have mentioned Ejimako, mentioned Nemeke Ejiofor. So I ask you again, Benjamin Madubu, since he knew that Nemeke Ejiofor was Onyendu that sent him, why didn't you act upon the number 11 that Onyendu instructed you to go and meet him and contact him through the council concerning insecurity in Imo State? You people were the people that desolate Biafra land. You people started killing people, kidnapping. You guys started it first. It's on record. It's not some teenage and the hiding one who don't know who is this, including yourself. Thank God people know you. Because most of the crime that committed, you are part of it. I want to say it tonight for people to know. Like I said, if you want to rant more, we'll do a special program for your sake. A proper program. I will come out fully. Have you ever shut him talk again? Where is he? Let him come out. Let him come out if he has balls. So what we are saying here is that at the end of the day, it can't be lying to Onyendu's name as if Onyendu is alive. Onyendu is reachable. Chike confirm with his own mouth. But you now saying that all the messages coming from the lawyers, but Chike doesn't want to threaten that they are going to kill Ejimako. There's no kind of threat, including yourselves, all of you guys threatening him. We have all these things in record. I'm saying it loud and clear on Biafra Radio. This is consigned IPO. This is not saga. This is something that have to do with our leader's life. And he come out and be ranting. Even when you give you messages, you send that message to who the message was meant for, not public consumption. Because you don't have legal rights to make things public. But now you have told us, and we have heard you. That is our argument from day one was that Onyendu's order is in our code of. That's why I said, if any of these people have to stop you in any country you're living, just get a lawyer. All you need to give them is our code of conduct. You don't have to argue with them. All these principles are, you know, like I was talking to somebody this evening, talking about some people are scared, they will remove them. Any principal servant that is scared is those that are looking for paper. I'm not saying it with apology. Any IPOB hardcore that still say they believe in DOS, not DOS, or the dot, because DOS is the body that governs IPOB. They don't represent IPOB anymore. That's because you're scared because of Chikerism is going to write memo under his basement in Switzerland. You are there because you are looking for something. UK is an exemplar. That 80% of people here that are in position here, I never knew that all of them are asylum seeker. I'm not saying it, I'm not hiding it anymore. This is an open something. It's disgusting. Because we swore an oath. So you sold your generation because of your paper. He's scared of Chikerism. Who is Chikerism? Chikerism have defined his signatory was now a code of conduct, which will put him in prison. Because we take him to court will ask, so this man is the person that actually signed this and behaving like this. The day I knew that Chikerism is not a human being, the day he said he sacked UK national coordinator and he read our code of conduct, I was like, is this man okay? Is he normal? If you take Chikerism to court They put him in dock. And they read our code of conduct at the end of the signature was there. You put him in concerning the issue they are brought to court as an IPOB member. They will put him in prison. You go to prison. Straight away, he's going to jail. That think this is a joke. And they could not raise common restraint order against Simon Ekpa when Simon was started. They were busy trying to raise money in his platform. That's what. Today. Because they did it because they know they want to destroy IPOB within. That was their mission. Nothing else. Today people will tell you, oh, we are confused, we are this, we are that. Oh, when you say, go and listen to Simon Ekpa, Don't you tell Simon Ekpa, don't allow this, don't allow devil to take over you. You don't quote that particular verse. Some of the riffraffs that started this autopilot in now, some of them are confessing. Because none of you were IPOB members. If you're hardcore, nobody will move you. Onyendu will always speak at the end of this, say the hardcores. He knows. He asked me my position. Which position? I have only one position. IPOB has sworn oath, and I've given everything I work for in my whole entire life for this. It's not a joke.
Ozi Maswell, Barrister Maswell, Obara Lazy, Bozi Yamasri. Ozi Barrister Chukwemeka Ejiofor Lazy, Bozi Yamaponye Industry. I want to give a fortune.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International.
Yeah. So, dear friends, from where I stopped, I was talking about how our brother Master Madugu, we tried to make sure he visited Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu on several occasions have asked him to come and see him in the DSS dungeon, which we have tried on many occasions and failed. But, Chukwu Kabiama is great. Last month when we asked him to come also, he went there. He could not see him. But so God, with infinite mercy, last Thursday, he went there and he was able to meet Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And we realized also for the fact that there is nobody from the leadership who goes directly or who can be able to communicate to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. That people took that opportunity to blackmail IPOB leadership. They took that opportunity to blackmail.
That anybody that is very sorry, like I was trying to say, I said that anybody that is devilish in mind will always, I believe, on assumption. They prevented Benjamin Madbu for over 8 months to go and see Onyendu, but they've forgotten there's a reason for it. And as it finally happened, if you see what Benjamin Madbu made Onyendu, there was one particular picture that where he pegged Onyendu on his cheek. And to me, that peg was the peg that Judas gave Yahweh on the movie that we watched. I don't know if it's true or real, but as that story might have it, that's exactly serpent peg that he gave our leader, because they are the same people sparking Onyendu behind his back. But all of them now, that same visit has exposed everything that we have argued for. The thing that has brought, that's why I'm talking to comrades tonight. The reason why I'm emphasizing on this is some of you that say you're confused. There is no need of you being confused, because at the end of the day, the argument was, even I remember asking Austin Alban in a meeting in UK here. The whole people that were in the meeting, all this, I didn't know that all of them were sick. They all were attacking me. Or some of them were a part of people that were sharing the money who have contributed. But I never fringe. I asked Austin Alban a question. After they are back like a mad dog, I said, Austin Alban, can you answer my question, please? Did the Onyendu authorize you to remove our national coordinator? His answer to me was that Onyendu knows everything they are doing. That our national coordinator have access to Onyendu. He never asked me he gave me any specific answer based on the question. As a leader, he portrayed to be European way for that matter. I took it that he was lying to himself. That is why the man, he worth nothing to me. To first I leave, is one of the most dangerous human beings you want to get in contact with in IPOB, Austin Alban. That nitwit. Anywhere you see that guy is more devilish than any other person you can ever get in contact with. Now, God might have it now. They now expose what we talked about, and this guy not watching us and himself now confessed. Someone told me that this has been before, but I don't recall, where he admitted that he was talking to Onyendu on the phone on the same day Onyendu was kidnapped. But he told the people that he was the first person that came to the Biafra to say that it was Canon Takan. When they asked Canon Takan where Onyendu was, he never told them. He analyzed the story, how they spoke to Canon Takan and spoke to Caroline. None of them want to say where Onyendu was. That they didn't know that Onyendu was in Kenya. They all denied it, including Chikedozem. But later we found out they were meant to have meeting that day, including Madam. All of them, including in America, they all know Onyendu was in Kenya. Killer Samuel with his own mouth. I want you to listen to it before I will comment on this, because I have a reason why I'm saying this on Biafra Radio. I want Biafrans to understand that we need to fall back, because the time of confusion has come and gone. Unless those seeking for something. If you're pure and believe in Onyendu, the time is now, because if you stop contributing in IPOB or start paying your monthly due or start doing your duties as an oath member, it has a consequence. Mark my word somewhere. And when you're shouting sit at home on Monday, but you don't want Onyendu to come out, because when you talk about sit at home is not going to get Onyendu out of prison. He's done it for 2 years now. He's abused. We were doing sit at home from 2016 for a purpose. He served for it. It started from Mahatma Gandhi. Everything, too much of everything is bad. It's abuse. Even though our people have accepted that Monday, then nobody take glory or saying that, oh, it's because of them. No, it's not because of you. Our people have accepted, even including myself, when that was instituted, we all supported it. But the moment we had that Onyendu say, we never knew that Onyendu suspended that statum 72 hours. That's why we were meticulous in our dealings. We never jumped up and start talking. We take time, gather information, because you won't tell me where George you may have gone wrong. If you have where we have gone wrong, please bring it up. Fact check whatever we have said in the past. And now we are in this hallowed platform. We have to go back from how all this whole thing started. So for avoidance of doubt, right? Now, they are doing open confession. Very, very imperative. So people grasp at this.
To Mazen Namdekano, that people took that opportunity to blackmail IPOB leadership. They took that opportunity to blackmail everybody they think that will be a hindrance for them to be able to hijack the struggle. That was what has been happening for 2 years. Because I could remember the day Mazen Namdekano was kidnapped. Everything was in order. We were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it, I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, we were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it, I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, when we were communicating, like I said, I continue to say it, I was communicating with him on that particular day until he told me, okay, I will get back to you. And that was the last day. And suddenly, we were communicating, like I said, I continue to.
It's very important that the reason for playing this particular 2 audio tonight, and I will continue to play it anytime I come on Biafra Radio. That's why I kept it on small version. I know there's so many people that contacted me, which is some of my members. There's a particular mother that called me one morning. He sent me a message. He said, George, he said, I can't take this anymore because those that sold our leader and no one is saying anything, their hands was pointing on the DO and so-called some of these members of DOS, which is China Sanwo is the primary suspect and Chike Doziem. China Sanwo have confessed here now, it's not me. So I want Biafra to stay, and I'm apologizing to some of those people. I never said anything. I already told them I can't say what I don't know. I'm under oath. I'll be careful on what I said. I don't accuse people what I'm not sure of. Now, I'm not going to come out and say, oh, China Sanwo sold our leader. Just like I said, I've accused Canon Takano. And Onyendu, through his lawyer as well, said that none of these people, their hand is not there. That was official. So, like what Benjamin Immanuel said, he doesn't have the legal right to say it. He should have come through a legal means, not through him. Because a Jofo know that Onyendu, a Jofo cannot tell you when was last time Onyendu speak to him and he give him any message concerning IPOB. It's unheard of. He can't recall. So the reason why I'm pointing this out tonight is that it is not hearsay. This is China Sanwo open his own mouth and say, and that day Onyendu was kidnapped, that he was on the phone with Onyendu. That means China Sanwo was the actual person that led our leader to those that kidnapped him, because he was on phone with our leader. Because he was tracked. It's a tracker. Tracking him, and someone have to keep him alive to be tracked. So they were calling, all of them were calling him, including Madame Oyibo, including Nelly, all of them, all these evil kakus, we are calling our leader. But they engaged him to make sure Onyendu was actually, the location was notified. And he was apprehended, kidnapped, tortured for 8 days. And they all saying, China Sanwo say he was talking to Onyendu, someone he talked to on a daily basis. So why would China Sanwo didn't raise an alarm that I spoke to Onyendu yesterday? I want Biafrans to go back and sleep. This is Biafra Radio, the mouthpiece of Biafra. Now, I want you to go, because I said I will not accuse anybody. I did not know who kidnapped Onyendu. And I, George, you may know that Onyendu is not searching for those that kidnapped him, because our brother said, I'm going to lead from the front. Someone have to give him up. Just like I said, the peg that Benjamin Immanuel give our leader in prison, in court, shows that he's part of those that sold Onyendu. Benjamin Immanuel is part of those that sold Onyendu. Because why I'm saying this tonight, because of what is ranting, a job for all of them were involved. You know, someone said, because a Jofo could not go and see Onyendu 9 weeks, Onyendu was brought back to the zoo. He couldn't stand our leader. All these things are, boomerang. Now, as God might have it, he have come out of his mouth that he was in that day. Now, the question is, they told you that Canon Takano said Onyendu was praying in the mountain for 8 days, but China Sanwo just said that he was on the phone in the same day. But I have never had him said it before. But what happened after that day? You didn't hear from your leader. He didn't ask for 8 days. He didn't say anything. If he didn't know what happened to him. People's assumption. Any rumor, there has always been a truth on it. I will leave it there for you to judge. Now, This is Biafra Radio, but anything that concerns our leader, we have to talk about it on this radio. Very, very important, in a very mild way. I'm not meaning antagonizing anybody, which I never do. But as the policy required, there's a particular tweet I want to pull up here for a reason. Very, very important. I'm putting it because of some of you that in both sides of aisle, none of these individuals represent Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. These people are all looking for something. I've said it over time. I personally have got nothing against Simon Ekpa and what he does. You know why? Because for me, he's not a member of IPOB. He doesn't have a duty care to IPOB. If he wish to do Biafra agitation, it's open. So it's an open call. So you say, do whatever you do to restore Biafra. But when this guy started encroaching in IPOB, which they allowed him, Biafra Radio, Chikedozie and his cronies allowed this guy into meetings. As soon as Onyendu was renation, because all of them knew that Onyendu will not survive. So all they were trying to do is, what can we get? Their job then was, how can we get money? Austin Albany was saying, go and raise funds. They were the 747,000 in America. They shared it among themselves to destroy IPOB finance, because they know once they get IPOB finance, the radio, then IPOB will die natural death. That was the agenda. Get the finance, get the radio. They succeeded to hijack the radio, but radio is dead on arrival. Now, the reason why I brought up this particular tweet is that the same person that is saying that he doesn't take out that from someone that is in the DSS dungeon. You know, I sit down to question the mental well-being of our people. You know, in this country, yeah, mental health issue is something that is very critical in this country. And I'm telling you the truth, if we go back on our people to do mental health assessment on our people, you will find out that 80% of our people are mental ill in the way they reason and think. This young man, what I know is that he's catching a cruise. But one thing I must tell him is that Biafra is not a joke. And many people have died. What we want from day one, when we came out, we gave them option. The option we gave them, they couldn't do it because all of them are in it together. Cannot activated it, which I've told them. Some of you today are singing behind Simon Ekpa. Over time, you quote, when you say, go and listen to Simon Ekpa. He said, go and listen to more than 20 people when they gave him that list. But Simon Ekpa was the only man Onyendu make a reference to. Do not allow devil to take over you, enter your head, or however Onyendu put it. But Onyendu knew who this guy was. And I, George, you may said it over time. This guy does not believe in Biafra. I will say it again. He does not believe in Biafra. I'm not saying what he's doing. He does not believe in Biafra. There's so many people, I said, he's just like a pastor that is defrauding people, doesn't believe in God. Some of them have that fetish they're doing, we can see it. You know, since Pentecostal came, Pentecostal destroyed mental well-being of our people. Somebody can ask you to be praying. You forgot that you have to go and walk. You pray 7 times a week. The time you're wasting is supposed to be using to go and do work. Using it to go and pray. Night vigil and all that kind of nonsense. Prayer without work is dead on arrival. And that is the position we'll find ourselves now. Now, this is what he said, breaking. I have received message from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu today, 18th August 2023, that we must intensify our efforts for Biafra, that we should not listen to any of his lawyer, whatever they say. He asked him a question. Where did he get this message from? The same person that is not well in GSS dungeon. You know, it's very, very important. I want all of you that are confused and now start thinking. There's a particular guy I'm going to play his audio for a reason why I'm putting all this tweets. I want to play that guy's voice because he was one of the guys that were, because when he see your IPOB member, our leader is in prison, he jumping from one pillar to pole. That means you don't know your left from your right. But I'm making this abundantly clear tonight. I'm saying it for those that IPOB member to regain your common sense and reevaluate the way you reason. The same person that we are arguing about Onyendu handwriting. You don't listen to your lawyer, he will listen to you. How did he get this message? Have you asked him, how did you get this message if it's from Onyendu? These are contradictory individuals, because over time, when you're lying, your lie will always expose you. I've said it before. If you have an agenda, I've got no problem with whatever you do. Wherever anyone that wants to contribute money into your pocket entirely up to their money, I'm not asking people not to contribute money. After all, those are giving 10% to their pastors that did nothing. This is what we are sold in Pentecostal. You will work every month. Those are working. You take 10% from your hand money and give to somebody that's in his house doing nothing, praying for me that I cannot pray for myself. All these are innuendos. I believe in God. Charity, that's why in this country people give charity. And it will be accounted for. What we actually doing, that's the way of our life, because we are people that we believe in charity. But they connived our people, manipulated us, telling you, give me 10%. I was in Winners Chapel for how many years? We were paying 10%. I was living in London here and go Chilo. On his personal pocket. Not for community. Nobody's questioning what he do with the money. We can't see what he do with the money. He got bosses people paid for, and people will still pay. Even people will lose their last 10 naira and pay for that boss every Sunday to go to church. Are they not evil people? Are they not evil? These are evil men in disguise. So why I'm saying this is tonight is that, people should stop playing games. This is not game. So many souls have died. Within the family, 2 parents have died. Jack was involved. His cousins was involved. 28 men fell. And so many people have died and all sacrificed a lot to get to where we are as an IPOB member. That's why we will not allow those outside, people that in other sense to thwart what we have done. Because people have paid with their blood. Unless you're not an IPOB member, you don't understand what I'm talking about. I don't have any issue with anybody. Only to say whatever I've said it before. If Simon Ekpa has anything to offer for Biafra, he should have his own agenda. You see all this Biafra exile, government in exile, they are the fourth one, right? They should roll their agenda and roll with it. Like I said, some of you one day will quote us like now they're quoting themselves. The day Simon will be apprehended, some of you will be shouting, oh, but I thought he was. Wait, this is a warning. That was a clear communique to this young man. Stop using Onyendu and the entire Kano family and IPOB name in any of your dealings. I will call it that criminality, because when you start extorting money from people based on lies and falsehood, that become an issue. Because they attack Madam Nyanya. Now, have they given an account of money they collected from you people? Of course not. How many groups have they formed within this period of time, 2 years? How many groups have they formed? That's what tells you. Only you said it. All the community people have formed after Biafra war. Once they share money, they will have issue. And look at it. Only people stood until today, and we're still standing. How many groups have they formed on top of this particular incident? Those all you need to know. If you ignore this and thinking that people are playing ping pong, we're not here for playing games. I remember when Clifford and were shouting, we have a roadmap. Tony Nadi was shouting, roadmap. Where are they today? Simon Ekpa, if you have any common sense of value to yourself, roll out your agenda to restore Biafra. Leave Mazen, Nnamdi Kanu, and IPOB alone. You've been warned. We'll be signing it as warning, just like Chinas and World today. All of them are confessing. The day we will start, we will refer you back to today. We warned you from the beginning, but you didn't listen. You think it's a joke, or maybe you live in Finland. You're untouchable. It's a lie. You're nobody. You can be touched. People. If Onyendu can, you think Onyendu. If Onyendu, nobody is untouchable. Don't forget the crime committing is a cyber crime. I repeat it again. And he also informed me that he is standing very strong on Biafra freedom. This is rubbish. All these things I'm asking. This message, where did he get it from? You know this. Some people will come there and type yes, like this, but they're not asking you critical question. You don't take order from somebody like DSS Donjon, why are you getting message from Onyendu? Now you're trying to rope Onyendu in your criminality. Onyendu does not send message to you. Maznan can have attorneys. No individual will send message. Onyendu will only give rights to individual. And it will be known. So I don't want to make this a too much issue. But the reason why I'm beckoning on this is that for some of you that are confused, thinking that this is a joke, it's not play. People's lives have gone on the line. Our leader is still languishing in the SS dungeon, so it's not something you will take for play. And he's saying, finally, he directed me to inform Biafra that he's very sick. He's rubbish. All these are, he's playing, you know, this guy, this is like a format, you know, for you gullible fools, you know what I mean? And all of you are falling for this nonsense. It is not for Mazin Nandekano. Like we said, we don't go wrong in what we do. We take our time. When some of you were talking about you, told you no, forget about it, because DOS was instituted by Onyendu. But the day we found out that they went against Onyendu, so that was the end. So it's a difference between those people that were instituted by our leader by someone that is outside the door. I'll end it there. But I want to play one guy's voice before I end this program for a reason. To buttress on what I've just said. For some of you that are still confused to what you need to do to yourselves.
But we need to put hands together to use our minds, use our heads, remove emotion.
The reason why I don't want people to get this out of context. Yeah, this is not stag about this concern an issue because this very individual, this guy lives in Germany. I don't really know his name. I don't want to know his name, but he's one of those people that were vocal. They were the one who supported autopilot. He narrated how many groups he have joined. Then you ask yourself, are you a member of IPOB? You believe in Biafra struggle. How are you going to make headway? We don't have a direction. But just to confirm, how many groups have they formed within this period of time? Tells you all you need to know. Nobody hears about Nelly or Fable today because it was in guidance principle. All this things was pre-planned. A job, all of them was there. They're all involved. Just to get to IPOB finance. That's why they fraudulently shot all IPOB. What do not tell you? They want him to die in prison. Because if you don't have any fund to fund for our leader, it's not like they're getting any money to give to Onyendu. Now, of course, they don't. They are not paying anything. Then they come on pay for the radio to start with.
Master Simon Eba, he is here where he is today because each and every one of us supported him. And we are still supporting him. But at the beginning of this very new thought pilot, after, of course, what you know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's quite funny, but let me allow him to speak because not
what happened during the US. I was the first person that began the fight against the impunity of China Samuru in GOS and the rest of them. And then we moved to Nelly. Nelly was so much hunger about power. About power. Today she has failed. The same thing right now have replicated himself again under Simon Eba. That he has undermined every structure of the Eastern Security Network, turned some of the Eastern Security members into his own machinery. It means that whatever crime that he have committed or are going to commit, or people that are going to die in the future, innocent people that are going to die in the future.
Anyway, I don't want to give him any more relevance. I just want the way he mentioned names. The reason why I allow this is because I'm saying it because we have a fundamental issue. And how that problem started is one of the things I touch tonight. And it's not with any prejudice, but it's actually to point you to the right direction. And some of you now start going into sober reflection and thinking about your commitment towards the oath you took. A lot of people need to start going back because all these things you've seen is charade. In every flank you see, Simon Ekpa, Chikeruzemo, all these people are in it together. From the beginning, they knew what was going to happen to Onyendu. And their primary agenda was to destroy IPOB within, which is attack the radio and the finance. And they cut the radio. The radio, they couldn't got it in 2015-16 because of the former deputy leader stood there. He was standing alone. Some of these people were there then, but they couldn't talk because all of them was against him even then. But you've seen today, they could not see the light of the day then because there was a barrier. As soon as Onyendu was rendition, Kinasawo surfaced from nowhere, made himself the commander of ESN. Who made him commander of ESN? Ask yourself a question to that. So that's my point, and that's the reason why I allowed that brother to air a view. And all of us know what is happening in West Africa now. There's a very, very interview that I watched about EFF. The reason why I will allow this to play is because I've said it over time. A lot of people don't know the struggle. In every country, struggle is not a wishful thinking. A lot of people today, we hold Mandela, Madiba, to esteem because of the price he paid. But the point is, within the enclave of those people under struggle today, and there's one thing about IPOB and our leader. I have never one day had Onyendu say a word against our internal leader. But when he gone back, the EFF is within the ambit of governance in South Africa, which they gave them. They have their own cabinet within the leadership of the South African government. So their inclusiveness is there, and their voice is quite strong. So there's an interview, very, 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 very impeccable lady, and there's issue about Kill the Boer and this issues. So I relate it to our struggle, because it's quite something that happened when our internal leader was convinced to come back home to join the polity. At the end of the day, it was ridicule. And before Onyendu emerged, Wazirike came, Wazirike couldn't do anything. Instead, they turn against our people, just like what people are doing today, because instead of you to protect your people, you're killing them. It's not why we're here. You can't hurt our people. We will pay price if it's consensus that now we want to declare war, then we know everybody will prepare for it. But not hurting your own people within. It doesn't make any sense. Everything we have done is we try to, because we already been oppressed. It's a common sense. So we're supposed to be in a mood of de-traumatizing our people. We allow them to make decisions, not to put them into agony. But when the time is right, then it's a consensus. People are okay now. I think it's time. Because IPOB have built a platform that whatever we say things, people listen. But the case is reversed unless we only speak. Like I said, Monday sit at home, all of us give a grade in it. But the point is, we didn't know that Onyendu never actually authorized it, that override Onyendu's order. So I want you to listen to this particular credit to the. I need to give you a credit to the television because I didn't touch it.
Especially knowing at the very least the sensitivities associated with Kill the Boer. The EFF feels it must be sung.
Number one, we are not the children of Nelson Mandela and Desmond Tutu. We are the children of Winnie Madikizela Mandela. We are the children of Chris Hani. So that whole propaganda and nonsense that was sold to us in 1994 about a rainbow nation without restorative justice is not selling with us all. The inequality in South Africa has grown tremendous since 1994. So there was no justice that was given. We remain landless. We remain with our children dying in pitch toilets. So there's no justice here in South Africa. So we're not going to unite here in South Africa until there is justice. And that includes economic justice. We are not going to have.
Yes, I'm gonna leave it there. She spoke, very, very passionately, and she made a distinction, very, very, very decisive. That's why I advise people go and listen to Winnie Mandela's burial, and this guy Malema spoke on that. That's why some people didn't know that after Mandela was released from prison, shortly he divorced his wife. His wife was labeled terrorist, whereas he was touring around the world. There's a reason for that. And that struggle has continued with this face of EFF today. And the same now as looking all of us in our faces. And I think we should, IPOB is a phenomenon. And I know that this particular trial, this particular turbulence we are in now is what meant to be to get us in a different position. Because I believe that after all this turbulence, what is going to unveil will marvel the world. That's all I can say. But let us take a lesson and know that struggle is not something that you gain by wishful thinking. You must be very, very precise and determined and doggedness. And at the end of the day, it is only the hardcore. You say 100 men and women with clean hearts. And the wave that is going in West Africa, you have seen it. The queue, so many countries actually need it. You know what I mean? If it's that new generation have to change it the way they are doing it. And it's because France has frustrated. ECOWAS should have using one currency today. Passport, all the money was put in place in this project. They frustrated it. When the euro came, France take up euro and pushed the French CFA to all the former colonies. Now they were using their money, not the ECOWAS were supposed to be using the same fund. It was only Guinea-Conakry that rejected it. And they have been growing. Their GDP is coming, I don't think it's 80% is coming from Africa. And I mean, so at the end of the day, this is a revolution. And there's all this strength has been driven by the vision of one man, Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And people must not take it for granted. Those that were opportuned to be part of this journey. And I encourage every single one of you, IPOB member. I remind you again, that is your duty and duty care to make sure you take up your responsibility. We must fall back to our various families. And we'll be tied anybody that join IPOB for their own personal gain. And it is there in our code of conduct that you can question things that you know, irrefutable, anything that you know that is fact. It is your right. Like I said, I've asked questions. I'm not the type that's, I always ask questions. I always ask questions. Not in a disrespectful manner, but I will ask you a fundamental question that requires a straightforward answer. And when you don't give it to me, I know you're a pathological liar. And from that moment, I will stand down to assess whatever you do. And that is the kind of person I am. Regardless the opposition, because at the end of the day, the chain command trickle from the bottom to top and from top to bottom. You cannot override it. The day you try to override that chain, that you broke that chain, that chaos is what you're going to be experiencing. And perhaps that's what majority of them is facing today, because they cannot stand their own shadows any longer, because they created a hostile and chaotic atmosphere within the family. IPOB was once a loving, and I still believe it's a loving family, because I believe those that are decisive, those that believe in one accord of IPOB, not holding that. Because the problem we have is majority of people have driven by sentiment and emotion, holding allegiance to individual, maybe someone you like or someone you don't like. That's not how you work. Just like when you go to work, you have colleagues in work, you can't stand them. But you dare not say it. You have no choice. That is real life we are living. That's the fact of life, and you have to deal with it. So I thank every single one of you for listening to Good Evening London, and this is Biafra Radio. I'm going to leave you with our leader's prayer, as always. And I indulge every single one of you to continue to pray for Onyendu and his entire household and IPOB worldwide at large. We shall continue to be strong as one family that we are, regardless the tribulations and turbulence that we are facing in this family now. It comes and go. The sorrow comes in the night, and in the morning we all shall rejoice again. And I believe that very soon Onyendu will join us, regardless of what our enemies are doing, and those the agent or provocateurs, those that are supposed to be, defending him, are those that are against him. But it's for a reason, because at the end of the day, Chukwuka will do what he say he will do. He have never disappointed us, and he shall continue to lead the way for us till Biafra is restored. Once again, I thank you for listening to me. My name is Maz George Chukwume, and this is Good Evening London. Thank you very much.
Onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye duru ndị ya n'ụzọ ije si ebe niile dị iche iche, ma ala Biafra, anyị na-enye gị otuto, anyị na-enye gị nsọpụrụ, anyị na-enye gị eji ama. N'ihi ihe gbasara IPOB zuru ụwa niile oke, onwe ebe ọbụla ị gara gị ahụ IPOB nwa ụmụnne n'ime nzọpụta na nwere onwe Biafra. Anyị ji ofu obi were ịhụnanya, were mmekọta nwanne na nwanne wee na-aga ije. Anyị na-asị na ọ bụghị mmadụ dị ndụ mana ọ bụ nsogbu abịa. Anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-agapụta nke anyị. Ise ọrụ bụ ndụ nwere ndụ azụ. Nwa mmadụ nwere nwa mmadụ ha anyị na-ekwu ọ ga-adị Biafra na mma. Ise ihe Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe onye obi ya nwa na onwe ya kere anya mmụọ ka anyị na-edewa n'ime mmụọ na eziokwu si ozi nwere onwe Biafra. A sị na Biafra ga-abịara ya mma ọbụla. Ise
anybody I curse is cursed. Once I condemn you, you're finished. Ask the Sabo, those that tried to take over power when I was in prison, because I valued them, thought they were doing what we all swore to do. As soon as I went into prison, they started to connive to take over power. Where are they today? Because I cursed them.
So what is this? What you like is the public. What stupid country is that? What stupid country is that? I ask you. I'm killing my people. I am killing IPOB. They are killing my people. I'm killing my people. You tell you what to name is secret. The person is mad. Not completely mad. Tell me, that's what I said. That he is mad. He cannot tell me. He cannot tell me.
Absolutely nothing. Nothing. I need them to understand this. We've crossed the Rubicon, the point of no return. There is nothing anybody can do. Biafra will come.
Biafra Alpha Power Media International. Biafra Alpha Power Media International.